Today on the Loki and Jabroni show, we're actually going to break down to one specific genre, country. And to be specific, Mr. Garth Brooks himself, in my opinion, one of the greatest country singers ever. And we have in-house guests to back this up. So sit back, man up, plug in, and enjoy this freaking episode of the Garth Brooks special.
Good morning, Vietnam, and points in between. My name is Jabroni.
We're going to get fined for that one now, too.
Probably. We got fined last week.
That was awesome. For you guys that didn't know, we did actually go on a live tangent on the video, and at the end of it, we decided to play "It's Tricky" by Run DMC. Well, apparently, was it Swahili?
I don't remember.
It was like Israel or Swahili.
Some country who has rights to the Run DMC song sent us through the fantastic world of YouTube a little cease and desist, or we had the option to click the little button and
pay them.
And
we were not going to pay them.
What are they? You have to get a certain amount of clicks to get paid. We are not going to get that amount of clicks unless you all work your ass off and pimp us out. Absolutely. But if that happens, yeah, we'll pay them. Absolutely.
So it's an awesome Saturday here. As always, my name is Loki.
I'm Jabroni, and to my right is Jason Bleau. He's a former guest. Thompson Speedway, 97.7 WCTY. He's a Chase Elliott fan. Don't hold that against him. And just an all-around good guy. And Jason was at the same Garth Brooks show I was on Sunday night. And you were at the Saturday night show.
I was at the Saturday show, yeah.
So
did you stay the whole show?
I did
of all?
stay the
Son
whole
of a
show.
bitch.
Yes. Why, you didn't?
Okay.
No, he had church. All right?
He didn't have church. I'll tell you the exact story.
Even Garth, when he came out for that first encore, was like, "All right, if y'all got church, I understand you go home, but I plan on being out here."
He
for
said,
a
"If you got to
longer.
go to work, we took the day off. If you got to do this, I understand." And he's like, 35 songs into that all-request gimmick set, which was fantastic.
Dude, he's awesome.
And he did turn the page, and by the time Piano Man rolls up, I mean, her back's hurting, my back's hurting, and there's a story behind that, too, which I will tell you all in a moment. Let's walk up the stairs to the concourse, and we'll watch from up there. So we watched, I think, another song from up there. There was a Navy soldier, seaman, sailor, whatever you want to call those guys, like 7 rows deep, and he's having this conversation from the stage.
Yeah, I
remember
saw that, which
right?
was really cool. He pointed it out, and then
are you home?
Everybody's chanting, bring him on stage, bring him on stage.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was tasteful that he didn't, because a lot of these guys they don't want to be the center of attention. They don't like that stuff.
But for me, had he pushed harder and brought him on the stage, that's not. He's not, trivializing. He's saying thank you, and here's 18,000 people who want to clap for you.
That was great, and that was the biggest cheer of the night. And it was loud all night.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So we get up to the top, and he's doing more of that acoustic request set. And I said to Angela, I think we've seen everything. I have a feeling this is going to close the show. So as we're walking out, he's playing another song. I don't remember offhand. What came after Piano? American Pie.
American Pie, yep.
He's doing American Pie. I'm like, I have a feeling we've reached the end. So we're driving back. We go to see Mike. He's at his karaoke deal on Sunday. And we pull in. He wasn't there, of course, because he had a rough weekend. He's sleeping. Janelle was there. How's the show? Oh, we're talking about this and that and the other thing. And I flip open my phone to see a message from Jason on Facebook saying, standing outside the fire was incredible, and this, that, and I just threw my phone on the table
really
right in front of Angela. I'm like, I missed that, my favorite song.
Listen, when you do an encore, and part of your encore has pyrotechnics, that tells you something right there, okay? And standing outside the fire, I'm really sorry you fucking missed it.
So am I.
It was awesome.
It's one of my favorite songs, first of all. I really do love this song. What it stands for, if you really listen to the lyrics, it really is an incredible song.
Oh, yeah.
Number one.
It's uplifting.
Number two, when you're sitting there and you're listening to it, and these fucking pyros are going off, and this thing is going off, it's absolutely incredible. But
did you stay for the whole show? Stupid.
Well, what happened was he did that little encore show thing, where which was, like you said, really amazing.
And
I've never seen anything like that at a show
I'd have known ahead
in
of
my
time.
life.
what that entailed, because I'm 7 rows back. I would have had to sign Hard Luck Woman or Long Neck Bottle, anything that I've always wanted to hear.
I was hoping for a little Long Neck Bottle.
He did do
really two pina coladas though.
When he did he play 2 pina coladas for you?
For me, yeah.
He played it for us too.
Yeah.
I mean, he played some songs one night that he didn't play the other night.
Yeah,
like your night. I had a buddy who was there on Saturday too. He played More Than a Memory for you guys.
Yes.
He didn't play that for us. He played a different song.
But More Than a Memory was during
fantastic.
When he played Mom,
but see,
when he did
More
the
Than a
acoustic,
Memory was during his encore where he picked out.
He picked it out.
Right, exactly.
When he did his little encore, I was waiting for him to do it the whole time because I love that song, Mom, which is off his new album, Man Against the Machine. And
he opened with that.
He opened with that, which was great. I actually thought he could have played, like, he didn't play People Loving People, and he didn't play all of Mom, which I thought he could have done. I know he didn't want to do a lot off his new album.
I liked it,
I wish he would have done
I liked how
that.
they started that.
And when they played Mom, it was me. This is how weird my life is. It was me, my parents, and my ex-girlfriend, who's actually really close to my mom. And it was actually a Christmas present to my dad because he'd never seen Garth before.
Really?
First of all, my dad was like a child the whole time.
He had a smile on his face before Garth Brooks even came out.
I know,
when we met you on the concourse,
yeah.
he had his fists like this. He was like
great.
ready,
he was so
shaking.
excited. And actually, the last time I saw him that much like a kid was when Mark Martin won at New Hampshire. We got to see that, and that was great, and that was his favorite driver. But to get to my point, when Mom came on and he started playing it, I pushed my dad aside. I pushed my ex-girlfriend aside. I cuddled up next to my mom, whose birthday happened to be the day before.
Oh,
happened to be
wow.
that Saturday. So I sat there and I kind of like danced with my mom, and I gave her a little peck on the cheek and everything. Aww. And
I even have your headphones.
Yeah, if you didn't have headphones, you would have missed that.
I even posted it on Facebook. I said it was really, really cool to be able
I remember
to experience
seeing that
with my mom, and I really did. I almost cried. It was so sweet. I really did. I had tears.
So real quick though, because I did have a question about that.
Sure.
I didn't really follow the newer album too much.
It's really good.
I know.
Great.
I did. After I listened to, I went back and I did listen to it. That song, Man Against the Machine. That almost kind of seems like it coexisted with the movie at the time that came out. That wasn't the Terminator movie. That wasn't.
I don't think one had to do with the other.
Right.
This one, Man Against the Machine, came out, I think, in 2014, either that or early 2015. That's what I'm saying. So it was like Terminator Genesis came out. Which,
right.
If he was involved with Terminator Genesis, if I was Garth, I wouldn't be playing it.
No, I know.
No,
I hear you.
Because then you got to pay out.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you there.
So
But it was crazy.
To get back to your smart ass question. Yes, I missed my favorite fucking Garth Brooks song, and I've not let her live it down all week. In fact,
I wouldn't either. I'm sorry. How did
I do Thursday night, by the way, shoving it up her ass, singing, standing outside the fire in front of her?
Well, how did I do?
Oh, she wants
like
your
that
head in a
shit,
bowling
right?
bag,
Yeah.
dude. She wants your head in a bowling. That's our song. You can't sing that.
Oh, boy.
Well, before we get too deep into the
Before
party,
we go into the Garth thing, we like to do our little thing before you break that down.
Okay.
No, you break that one down first.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you have money in your pocket and you got an itch for ink, man, go down and see our friends at Sublime Ink Tattoos in Groton, 577 Route 12, Groton, Connecticut. The phone number is 860-445-4200. You go see Dave Kovalik, Dana Batts, Justin Furr, and your man, come on,
Mr. Kruger.
Dave Kruger, the Nightmare.
Kruger.
They will take care of you. Tell them you heard it on the Loki and Jabroni show, and they will.
I'm going to bring Kruger so much business, dude. I swear to God.
I think you should. They might cut you a deal. You don't know, but the work is incredible. People love it. They've 4.5 stars on their Facebook reviews.
As a matter of fact, one of my buddies, I actually asked a lot of my friends, and I'd say 1 out of every 6 of my friends have gotten a tattoo there and have been completely satisfied. We do back these guys. We're not just sitting here, taking all their dollars. Not like we're really taking
Right,
their
we're not
dollars.
taking any dollars.
But no, but we are. We're backing
Eventually
these
we're
guys
gonna take some ink.
100% because these guys are really good. They're fantastic. The way that your boy showed love right off the bat as soon as he found out that shit, and it wasn't even his fault. It was the Ink's
And
fault
we
for
haven't
crying out
talked
loud.
about this. I got the logo to the show tattooed to my arm. And 7 days later, it starts to bubble in a way I've never seen a tattoo bubble before, and I've got several. It turns out that I had an allergic reaction to one of the colors of ink.
Well, no shit. It was Carolina blue.
I know. If it was Falcon Red or some shit, I'd been fine. So he
I'm
says,
going to reserve my comments on that.
Comment away, my friend.
have at it. That's what we do. But I called him. I said, here's what's going on. He got right back to me, man. And he's been on top of it ever since. They're great. As soon as it heals, man, we'll re-ink it. I'll take care of it for free. For free, guys. They aren't fucking around. They want to take care of you, and they want you to come back. Mm-hmm. So please go check them out. Sublime Ink, 577 Route 12.
Make sure you tell them that you heard it here.
Yes. They might cut you a deal. We're still working on that.
Mm-hmm. We got to get multiple people to show up and say, "Hey, I heard you guys on the Loki and Jabroni show."
I had a friend of mine on Facebook last night talk about, I'm going to go get a tattoo tomorrow. And what did I do? Go down to Sublime Ink in Groton, Connecticut, at 577 Route 12, and tell them Loki and Jabroni sent
Mention us, exactly.
Yes.
Because you never know. They might turn around and be like, you know what? You're the first person to say that. We're going to give you 5% off, or we'll give you fucking $10 off. If you get $150 worth of ink, maybe we'll take $20 off.
There you
Who
go.
the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying?
You just saved yourself some
money. Guys, don't forget.
That's a 30 rack, guys.
This is, first of all, we're going to go into the gripes, okay, real quick. This is what we like to do as far as, before we go into the thing. It's things that bug us. And I have a small little thing that bugs me. Tipping positions, people. It's not just bartenders, and it's not just fucking your servers. DJs, whether you know it or not, is a tipping position. And tattoo artists is a tipping position. You don't just give them $150 and call it a day, people. Seriously, drop them $20. Get them a fucking meal. Because they are actually giving about 75% of that to the company.
Okay, now I feel like shit.
Ink.
Now I feel like shit.
You didn't know that, did you?
This is the second time today you've made me feel like shit.
I'm sorry, but you didn't know that. Did you know that?
My safe word is beer. If I say beer, you have to stop. That's my safe word.
I'm just trying to keep people informed. I did not know that, and now after all these years of going to tattoo places, and I did have a tattoo guy that used to come right to my house and do it. I've never tipped. You got to look at it this way. And I'm not saying it's like an 18%. So if you get like a $300, work of art.
Yeah, you're not giving a $35 tip.
Yeah, don't be dropping like a $50, $60 tip on the guy. But you can be like, yo, dude, you put like, a week's worth of ink into my fucking back. Go grab a Sangy on me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, I get it.
$20, $15, it wouldn't kill you guys. And a lot of people don't realize that how much these guys do have to give back to the tattoo shop.
Any tattoo guys out there who's ever done work on me, I'm sorry.
And it's the same thing with DJs. Y'all don't realize.
Oh, fuck the DJ. He doesn't play the song I like. He plays Welcome to My House every 35 seconds, and I still haven't heard Black Hole Sun. Fuck the DJ.
He still hasn't sang it either. So
there's no way that's going to happen.
Hey, I know the pains of a DJ, man. I know what it's like, both on the air and off the air.
Same here, but when did anybody tip me when I was over the air?
Yeah, I had...
Over the air is one thing. Over the air is one thing. You really can't...
I did, although I did get paid in many Burger King dinners over the years.
I've had my fair share because I do DJ gigs all the time. Mm-hmm. And we get people who come up and they, you talk about my house. It's like, yeah, everybody wants to hear that. I did a gig last Thursday for a buddy of mine. I was filling in for him because he's having his kid. And they had the older crowd there till about an hour before closing. And all of a sudden, it's in Dudley. So all the Nichols College kids show up out of nowhere. And I learned something that night. I don't have any Drake in my laptop.
Yeah.
I had to hook up their Wi-Fi and go onto YouTube, and literally for an hour, I'm just playing crap off of YouTube.
That, dude? How embarrassing is that you have to fucking rock out some YouTube? Because it's like, you're like, dude, I'm a DJ, and here I am on fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really big time into that Google Music. I'm really big time into making my fucking playlists. Plus, Google Music, I can turn around and I can have it on my, my DJ Pro, which means I can mix and flow everything that I have on there, as long as I give them the $9.99 a month, whatever it may be. But dude, I'm the same way. You do one party, and like I said, you can drop $50, $60 on just a playlist for that wedding or just for that party. Mm-hmm. Oh, and in 3 weeks, it's obsolete.
Yep.
Half the music that's on there, nobody even gives a shit about no more. So that's what I'm saying. These are tipping positions because you don't realize what people really do throw into this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Make a lot of
so
sense.
when a lot of people just say, "Oh, no, bartenders and servers, they're the ones that get," no, people. There is a lot more tipping positions out there that a lot of people don't fucking
How many
realize.
of you guys have ever got your car towed?
Oh yeah,
you break down.
Yeah.
I tipped the tow truck
same
driver.
thing, or at least be like, "Yo, give me here's a coffee."
$5.
Go grab
I've done it a couple times. I've done really, really stupid shit. Like with
no,
my car.
not you.
My car is. I don't even know how my car is running right now. And
by the grace of God,
the dumber things I do, the more I tip them. because, there was one time where I just left my lights on in the parking lot and I killed my battery. And I didn't know at the time what the problem was because the lights weren't on. I couldn't get the thing to start. So I had to tow to my dad's.
Lights are on.
I had it towed to my dad's shop and they said, "Oh, the battery's dead." And I'm like, I just took like half an hour out of this guy's day because my battery died. I tipped him like $15. I said, "Go have lunch on me, dude."
I got towed.
exactly.
I got towed from
So-
Northampton, Massachusetts to Brooklyn, Connecticut one time. And I was down to my last dollar. I gave everything to the tow truck guy. I said, "Wait here." I had just bought a fresh 30 rack. I threw 10 beers into a bag.
There you go.
And I said, "This may not be your brand, but if it is, enjoy." And I just gave him a bag full of beer as a tip.
Dude, even if it's not your brand, I don't give a fuck.
Free beer's free beer.
There is my 2 favorite beers.
Open
Free
and cold?
and cold.
All right.
Free and cold, dude.
God bless
That's
America.
it. That's it. If you hand me a free cold beer, I will drink that with a fucking smile on my face. I will not turn to you and say, "Oh man, that's not Sam Adams."
There's only one beer I do that with, and it's
cherry
Budweiser.
cherry wheat chocolate supreme.
This isn't blueberry peat moss stout. Fuck you. This isn't Angry Orchard green
I was
apple.
almost surprised when you had me get you a Miller Lite.
I can't
Because
get-
I know you're not very cool with Kozlowski.
Oh, it's not relatable. It's a pound in beer. I get that a lot.
So that was my gripe, the tipping thing. I think
really-
a lot
you know
of
what?
people I don't and because you did bring up the tattoo thing, I did have to give the shout out there because I don't think a lot of people see that. You know what I'm saying?
No. That's a great point.
A lot of people realize that.
I feel like shit now over the last 26 years, not given.
And real quick, a shout out to Mortal Kombat. Fuck you guys. All right? Get off the EA bandwagon because you stupid motherfuckers, all you did was give me another $60 game, call it XL, and then you gave me the Alien, you gave me Leatherface, and then you gave me 2 other fucking hack job fucking characters, and that's it. For $60, go screw yourself. You're not getting my money.
Nice. Sounds like you've taken all the anger out of the room.
I did. I was mad, dude. Are you kidding me?
I understand.
Did you see that commercial?
Dude, trust me, believe me, I got you.
It's like XL, and then it's like, okay, so for X, you're going to give me the Predator, right? And then for XL, you're going to give me the Alien.
Yay.
You stupid motherfuckers. That shit should have been a
Yay.
$10 fucking upload. The Alien should be evolved on what is the difference between, you know what I'm saying? And these gaming companies are really getting ridiculous now, man.
I hear you.
Really getting ridiculous.
I hear you. I don't have anything to gripe about, but I do want to make 2 announcements. We've already spoken on them. This will be the first time Jason hears them, and for the rest of you, it's the first time you hear them. We have been invited on April 30th. I'm not going to give out too many details. We've been invited to be a guest at a veteran-sponsored event to raise money for veterans.
Because cancer sucks.
Cancer
and
sucks.
veterans are fucking kick-ass.
That's right. There's going to be live music, including our good friends at Sinners Inc. There's going to be professional wrestling.
Which we haven't given out a shout out. So
We haven't given
if you
them a
guys
shout out in a while.
didn't know, they are our intro music, which you heard about 17 minutes ago.
Si, senor. There's going to be games, prizes, and hopefully in the next week, I hammer everything down. There's going to be Loki and Jabroni right there
Live.
at a table.
In
live.
your face.
We may be able to do like 2 episodes in one day and still glad hand with people and have a
Well,
good
we're
time
going to be
raising
live.
money.
I'm going to have the video all hooked up, man.
Oh, nice.
We're going to be live on YouTube.
We'll
that
make
day.
sure Eddie is available.
Yeah. No, regardless, like I said, it's already in the works.
Second
We'll be
thing,
there.
2 weeks ago when the ladies were here, I mentioned a book called Just a Thought Away by Mike Riccardi about the station nightclub
You sure
fire.
you don't want to, pull back, retract your comment again? Did that?
I'm not retracting anything again. I already did that. She took it the wrong way, and Janelle stuck by my side.
See?
She was there.
See, I told you.
She knew.
I told you.
But, you know,
told you.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I can say that I can only imagine.
You know what I'm dealing with. Yeah. So Mike Riccardi has agreed to come on the Loki and Jabroni show and talk about his book, Just a Thought Away, and recount the things that went on that night.
New York bestseller.
I think it is on the New York Times bestseller list.
Mike Riccardi,
I will
by the
have
way.
to look that up.
Yes.
But
no,
Mike,
I did. I looked it up.
Did you? Mike
Yes.
will be coming on the show to talk about his book and his experience that night.
And he's going to make the third 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, good God.
No, he's not.
Unlike Scott Spar the other night, who was 50 Shades of fucked. We tore this boy up on his birthday. We got him shitty, and then we picked all his karaoke songs. And
Dude, the best was still I'm Too Sexy.
Too Sexy.
That was,
To hear him stammer his way through it.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Good guy.
Really
birthday was last night. Happy birthday,
It was.
Scott.
Happy birthday. Big shout out to you, Scott.
104 years old. Doesn't look a day over 90.
Are you serious? No, dude, no. He's like at least 2,000. He's BC, all right, dude? He was before Christ.
His yearbook was signed by Jesus.
It was. He raised Jesus.
This is the part you didn't read.
Yeah, he actually helped with the modifications of the first Ark. What you guys didn't realize is when they test drove the first Ark, it sank like a motherfucker, just like the Titanic. And Scott came in and showed him what was up.
Nice. You know what kind of lights they used on the Ark? Floodlights.
So you got any gripes today? Anything
I don't have any gripes. I do have something. I don't know if this is a perfect opportunity. I don't really give a shit. But I do have something here.
Uh-oh.
Because my dad is a smart ass. And this past Christmas, the last gift under the tree was amazing. I'm like, oh my God, it's got my name on it. I opened it up. I'm like, oh my God, it's NASCAR merchandise. And I open it up and it's a Kevin Harvick number 4 Ditech hat. And my dad said, now that Jeff Gordon has retired, I figured that you'd want to cheer for a champion.
Your dad is awesome.
But I'm sticking with the 24, so here you go, Mr. Jabroni.
Thank you.
Because I ain't going to wear it.
I'm going to put the picture up in a little while.
Hey, just before you turn around, I'm a Minnesota fan. You want to see what my Christmas gag was? Last pennant.
Last one.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
For anybody who doesn't know what it is,
it's a Dolphins. What's Super Bowl?
Super Bowl 7, I believe.
Yeah,
Dolphins 24,
7.
Vikings 7, and his lady J, is a Dolphins fan. Mm-hmm. That fantastic Dan Marino book over there was a gift from me to her. I'm a Dan Marino freak myself.
Nice. In my opinion, best quarterback to never win a Super Bowl.
Thank you.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Still in the top 10.
He's. I always called Mark Martin the Dan Marino of NASCAR.
That's not far off.
Best driver never to
not
win a championship.
Hey, as long as we got you here, what'd you think of Daytona? Give me like the Cliff Note version of what you thought.
I thought it was entertaining. I mean, granted, a lot of people had a problem with the middle of the race because it was a lot of train racing, but I enjoyed it. Closest finish in the history of it. It actually brought I listened to a lot of sports radio, and the next morning everybody was all over it. And one person even said, "I can't believe it. The Super Bowl of NASCAR was more entertaining than the Super Bowl."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "You're right. It was." And having the closest finish, put it front and center. I was cheering for Truex all the way.
Same with me and my daughter. If Harvick can't win, I want her driver to win.
But I thought it was great. It got me right into this season. And even watching Atlanta last week for as few cautions as they had, I was entertained. I was into it. My fandom was revitalized.
Nice.
So there's the Cliff Note version. Good start to the season.
I was too. I'll tell you what.
And the new overtime rule, having seen it for the first time in Atlanta, worked to it.
I liked it. A lot of people thought it was stupid, but I thought it was fine.
What did I say about fucking Junior?
Yeah.
I called that shit, right? He was very patient in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Very patient, which if you go back to Junior, say about 2 years ago, he crashed or he loses the car, gets a DNF, and then he comes back the next race, he's aggressive to a standpoint where he almost kills himself. And now you see him come back in Atlanta, and he was very patient. I think he rolled up 8th to 2nd.
Yeah.
And
he was a lap away from winning that race.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it was awesome. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin. Yep. As much as I don't know.
I don't mind Denny.
I was going to say, I know there's some people who don't like him, but congratulations to Denny Hamlin on winning the Daytona 500. Mm-hmm. It was kind of, in my opinion, kind of a lackluster win because he doesn't, in my opinion, have the star power to really carry a Daytona 500.
But you know what?
It's good to see somebody else do it.
Derek Cope didn't.
Yeah. So
Sterling Marlin is the worst interview in NASCAR.
It's good to see those people win it once in a while,
And that's what we talked about last week. It's a title. It's a championship. It doesn't matter what you do the rest of your career.
You're a Daytona 500
You are
champion.
a Daytona 500 champion, period. You cannot take that away from you.
And I totally called Jimmy Johnson winning last week.
Yes,
I was watching him. I'm like, as much as I don't like it, and it was actually brilliant to watch. I'm like, he did this last year too. He waited, and Chad Knaus is a genius, and he made it work.
A lot of people do that, man.
I'm
that
not
patience.
jumping in my guy, but you know his consistency in the last 3-4 years.
Yep.
And when he charges up and he's in second when the caution flag comes out, and thank you, Ryan Newman. I thought he had the rocket underneath him to get that win done. He spins his tires, has to move to the side. Watching Johnson and Junior go head to head until that caution came out and basically ended the race. If Harvick doesn't spin his tires, we're talking about a different winner. It may not have been Harvick, though.
Yeah, but you are talking about a different winner.
You are talking about a different winner.
Harvick's going to run Johnson down to the bottom line as much as he can. You might have ended up with somebody who wasn't even a factor up until that point.
All those guys are saying, run like Harvick. He's got the speed. He's getting it off the bottom of the track. If it would have been a different winner. It may not have been Harvick, but I don't think we see Johnson winning if Harvick doesn't spin his tires on the restart.
I agree.
Let's stop talking about sports so Angela doesn't hate us anymore.
It's NASCAR. Come on, stop. No, but seriously, no, you guys are right. We are talking about the man, the myth, the legend, and if you guys don't know, now you know, Garth Brooks is on a world tour, and if you have a chance to pick up these tickets, do yourself a favor and please go see this show. This is the second time, personally, I have seen Garth Brooks. The first time I saw him was with 60,000 other Garth Brooks fans screaming their asses off at Central Park.
Nice.
And I was way over there because my roommate at the time said, don't worry. We leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll be fine. Motherfuckers slept out there 3 days in advance. All right. So just give you an idea.
Oh, yeah.
Garth was probably about the size of my pinky nail. And that was the whole stage from where I was sitting. You know what I'm saying? But the sound.
It's pretty freaking far.
Was phenomenal. The sound was phenomenal. No matter where you were in there, I swear to God, New York itself.
If I'm not mistaken, he broke Simon and Garfunkel's former record. For
attendance. And then you know what's really sad about that is John Bon Jovi broke it after that.
Fuck John Bon Jovi.
I have to say this: the first last year I went to see the Zac Brown band, Fenway Park.
I like Zac Brown.
Amazing
As
show.
far as new country, I like Zac Brown.
At the time, it was me and my cousin.
Might be a redneck.
At the time, it was me and my cousin. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was literally the first time I'd ever been to Fenway. I hadn't even been to a Sox game until that point.
There's no need
so
to
it was
do
the
that.
first time I'd ever been to Fenway, and so we took the tee in and everything. It was great. It was an awesome experience, great bonding experience for me and her. And I kind of lucked into the tickets because an old teacher of mine in high school had it. But when we got there, halfway through the show, they did an intermission, and then when they came back, they brought Steven Tyler on stage. And it was just amazing. We're like, this is the best show ever. I honestly had doubts that Garth Brooks was going to be able to top it. And within the first 3 or 4 songs into his show, I was already like, Garth Brooks is the best show I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And he kept the energy the entire time. And I even text my cousin after the show. I'm like, I'm sorry, but Zac Brown has been replaced in my heart. And I grew up on Garth Brooks. I grew up in the 90s. I basically followed his career
have to
from the
remember
beginning
that
to
you're
the end.
10-ish years younger than
Yeah, I'm only 26.
Okay, you are 15-ish years younger than I.
Well, you even brought it up. Loki even brought it up when I came in. He's like, I kind of pictured more grace.
No, you have a deeper voice. You have an older voice. And a lot of people, like I said, this is my first time meeting you. You were a phone guest. So I did. I put it in. Like I said, I thought you were at least 60. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, it's funny. Through my job, I'm a journalist up in the top of the state, in the northeastern corner of the state. And it's a funny story. I met an old veteran in Thompson yesterday, and I walked in, and he's like, "Have you lost weight?" And I'm like, I felt like a little girl. I'm like, oh, I'm so flattered. And I'm like, I'm only 26, but that's awesome.
Have you been to the gym? You love those little things, man.
Nice. I don't ever get shit like that. They're like, you getting fatter?
So each one of us, you guys both were on the same day on Sunday, and obviously you also.
Which also happened to be the first time Jabroni and I met face to face.
No, second time, but I don't think either one of us have a frame of reference the first time.
The first time,
You and Alexis Buck were playing the acoustic gig at Hank's Dairy Bar in Plainfield. I went up to you guys after that, spoke for a little bit.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, easily 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass a question on to you guys.
Go ahead.
Cool.
How many concerts have you seen Garth live in, and which ones?
Okay, I'm going to let Jason.
That was my first and only.
That was
just
your first?
Well, there's a story behind why my dad wanted to.
You are lucky. You fucking caught him like in his finest.
There was my dad had an opportunity to go see him when I was younger, when he was younger, and he got screwed out of it for many different reasons. But my mom ended up seeing Garth in his younger years, so I made a point to make sure he got tickets to this show, and so it was a first for both of us, and we were blown away.
I'll tell you what, dude. I know you've seen multiple.
Sunday Night was my second.
I got two too, but you have also seen him like on videos and stuff and his concerts.
This is Garth Brooks VHS.
He has never lost his energy.
No,
that energy that he has, and even like I said, when we're watching him, I was like,
I've been bouncing around the stage. He's probably it's weird to say, but he's probably easily twice my age.
Yeah,
and he's bouncing around the stage like he's half my age.
He's actually I would. You're 26. You
26,
said?
Yeah.
He's almost 3 times your age.
Yeah,
he's in your 60s.
Yeah,
quite
exactly.
Up there.
So he is rocking that place. I mean,
I'm going to find out right now.
But so
I'm going to say mid 50s.
All right,
just for a bet.
What's your guess on this one?
I want to say early 60s.
Early 60s,
I do want to say
and
early
you say
60s.
mid 50s.
Mid 50s.
Okay, I'm guessing he's like 56. That's my guess.
Yeah. I'm going to say between 54, 56 in that range.
Okay.
I know he was a baby face when he came into the business, but I also know he was a little older when he came into the business.
While we're waiting for him to
I
figure
already
that
got
out.
it.
You already got it? I was going to say, while we're waiting for him, I have to say, people can't see it because they're here. I love all this Red Sox and Celtics shit. This is awesome.
I can deal with the Celtics stuff. I'm okay with the Celtics stuff.
We got some Bruin stuff.
Bruin stuff, awesome.
All right. First of all, shout out to Chad Hatfield for killing me with this 20 years ago. Does anybody know Garth Brooks' first name?
Oh, I can't remember. I have no idea. I know it's
Troyal. Troyal.
I'm glad he went with Garth.
Garth's his middle name. Born February 7th, 1962, making him 54 years old.
54. All right.
Now,
take that.
I said to the Immortal that night, because I've seen hundreds.
So yeah, twice your age.
Hundreds of shows, from heavy metal to Tom Jones's type stuff. I've seen it all. He was having fun.
Tom Jones is like
Energy
watching a wet
there.
fart happen, by the way.
My dad
trust me.
has
You want to
seen,
see some funny shit? Go to a Tom Jones show.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He's funny, but
it's not him that's funny. It's the old ladies in the front
Right,
thinking
no,
they're
that's what I'm
23,
saying.
throwing their girdles on the
Right.
stage.
You know, he literally is like watching a wet fart. It really is. Like if you want to
What does a wet fart look like?
look it up on YouTube, slow motion.
Oh, dear.
It'll blow your mind.
Oh, God.
There's something I won't be doing this
I haven't even seen it, and it's already hurting my brain.
The thing that I was most taken about was he was having fun. The smile never left his face.
Yes.
Between songs, he's saying, wow, you guys are awesome. And you hear that at every show you go to. This is the best audience we've ever performed with.
But you believed it with Garth.
Totally
yes, that was the
Garth
point.
Made you believe it. Garth made you believe that every single crowd was better than the last.
Trish out fucking Trisha Woods? Did they totally chime her out? Like when she sang "How Do I Live"? He said that was one of the things when he went down there and he was like, I thought I heard a couple of you guys singing. You know, he's just being funny, but he goes, but you girls fucking drilled it. Like
all the chicks in the crowd, and I think Angela included, every woman in the crowd sang along.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And she's not a bad performer.
I could hear every girl singing "She's in Love with a Boy" when she sang that song.
Right. Listen, I
honestly walked away with
iconic.
Trisha Yearwood. I took the Trisha Yearwood show. I love her. She's a great woman, great singer.
She's iconic.
But after she played "She's in Love with a Boy," which is as much
her
as
song.
You know, that's her song. So I listened to that.
Honestly,
then I got up. I got another drink. I took a piss. You know, that was my
hers and
bathroom
Garth's
break.
song is the only song I really like from her. Like everything else is kind of like.
What's that ribbons and bows bullshit? I like that song.
That's X's and O's.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not the shitty one we listen to now. This is the good X's
This is
and
a
O's.
good. Yeah. Hey, I kind of like the new one.
I was gonna say Ellie King is not bad.
Not to get off the Garth train too much, but Angela bought that CD for her daughter.
I would buy the CD.
I like every song on the CD except
that
X's
one.
and O's.
I wouldn't buy the CD.
She is phenomenal. No, seriously, if
Is
you
she
want,
good?
No, she's great at it.
Take the
She
$10,
does,
buy the
yes.
CD at Walmart. You'll enjoy it.
No, I have to try it out.
And if you don't like it, Angela's daughter
just
will pay
borrow
for
my
it.
Google Play Music for
There
about
you
a
go.
month and check out all the music you want.
I think I told you, Jason, or maybe it was you. It was one of you guys with a beard. I don't fucking know. that ranks as my second favorite concert of all time.
My dad's having a hard time between that and Jay Geils. He keeps telling me, he's like, I don't know really because it's been a long time, but he said that may, and he stresses may, have been better than Jay Geils. It's a hard thing for him to decide.
My number one is
two different generations.
Yeah.
My number one is an emotional pick. It's a Kiss show. It was the first time I took my daughter to see
that's
Kiss.
important.
So to me, musically it was great and bombast and fire and blood and the greatest hits and whatever. But man, as far as pure energy, the whole package, that's easily, it could be 1 and 1A with Kiss and Garth Brooks right here next to each other.
There's something I got to say about Garth Brooks' show, and we were talking about his sincerity when he would say that this is the best crowd I've ever seen. You know, he was really sincere.
Did he say that to you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've been to a lot of shows, and I've seen Jason Aldean. I have seen Florida Georgia Line. Sucked.
For the love of
I've seen Leanne Womack. A lot of classic people here. Sucked.
You didn't tell me this gimmick came with a keychain too.
Yes, it comes with a keychain.
Dude, thank you, Dad.
And he even said that too when I opened it. He was like,
bro.
if you don't like it, give it to your buddy down in Norwich.
Here's to you, Dad.
But I've seen so many people. I will say that he's my favorite artist of all time. I've seen Brad Paisley. This year will be 6 times. I'm a fan club.
Let me say this about Brad.
Amazing performer.
I did not like Brad Paisley at all when he first came out. I thought he was a gimmick. I thought that they just threw a fucking cowboy hat on a little fucking Italian kid and said, look, you can sing country. No, you can't, dude. After the second album, I knew he was a real deal.
See, I got into him when Mud on the Tires came out. That's when I first really started to get it. And we saw him, my very, very first concert ever was my mom and I went to see him at Indian Ranch in Webster. That's how long ago this was.
Wow.
I think it was 2003, 2004, which doesn't seem like that long ago.
You were like 6, right?
Really? I don't even want to go back that far. I had to have been maybe 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that ballpark at that. I don't even know. I don't feel like counting.
I wasn't very good at math. He's not math magician today.
It was an amazing show just there being, and of course it was my first show, my first concert. I had all the, it was really special. All the
swag.
To me. Oh yeah, it was really special. I still have the shirt, which still fits me to this day from that show because my mom. My mom made me buy
a cheeseburger.
Well, no, I bought like an extra large when I was a little kid because my mom wanted it to fit for years to come. So when I wore it back then, it was like rapper baggy on me, you know. But it still fits to this day. I even wore it to the concert last year. But I've seen him. This will be 6, and I've gone to see him every year. Right? Yeah, I've gone to see him every year for the past 4 years, and I will go to see him again this year because this will be the 6th concert I've seen by him, and it never fails. He is amazing every time. So and Garth topped all 6 shows, or all 5 so far combined.
Rolled into one.
That's a big deal for me.
There are groups that, or even singular musicians that I go see, and it just looks like they're phoning it in. There are very few bands that I will go see repeatedly. Kiss is one of them.
Georgia Line.
Fuck them.
They phoned it in big time.
We have a particular hatred for them.
Yeah.
But Kiss is one of them. Anthrax is another one.
Phony Georgia Line.
Yeah. But Garth Brooks is definitely one.
Let's just say we think Milli Vanilli has more vocal talent.
Amen to that.
Than Florida
I will
Georgia
say
Line.
that I don't mind on a summer day blasting Cruise or one of their songs to have some fun in the car. If I want to have some mindless gibberish going on in the background, something that I can enjoy.
I'm going to throw on like fucking what's her name there?
You're better off playing Vanilla Ice.
Oh, really? Yeah. I was
going to say Katy Perry. But
not to get on.
Katy Perry's better on YouTube.
Not to get on. Yeah, there you go. Not to get on too much of a tangent. For those of you who you can't really see what he's doing, Jabroni just kind of
bounced his
boobs. But
thank you for
thought you would know, thought they needed to know that. Get
Lay
the
off
visual
cheeseburgers.
But
I'll give him some of mine.
I'm a big fan of a guy named Chase Rice. I'm a huge Survivor fan. He was runner up in Survivor Nicaragua, and he co-wrote Cruise, and he actually used the money from that to jumpstart his own career.
Okay.
Now his music is just as kind of, I would say, shitty to the general audience as Florida Georgia Line. I actually like Chase Rice's music because he owns it. He's like, you're right, my music is generic, my music is this, my music is that, but you know what? This is what I like to sing.
If it connects, if somebody can connect to it.
Catchy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll give you catchy.
Cruise is catchy, and Cruise is funny.
Yes.
Because as being a DJ, Cruise, with or without Nelly, I can throw that shit in
people
anytime,
know it, people love
and
it.
People will go crazy.
Right,
they
exactly,
love it.
exactly. And like I said, that's with or without Nelly.
It makes for a good filler song when you're between songs that people requested because they don't they don't care, they love it, but they don't hate it.
Now,
you know?
they have no talent.
Agreed.
Absolutely no talent. And the fact that now that I know somebody else wrote that song makes me feel so much fucking more better because I was like, Jesus, like they suck that bad, but that's actually a decent song. So I got to give them some sort of credit.
They might have.
So is the Hokey Pokey, but
they may have
co-wrote
top
it. 40 hit.
Yeah. They may have co-wrote it, but I know Chase Rice had a huge hand in writing that. And I have his CD in my car. And you know what? I was saying, if I want to listen to some kind of mindless crap, when I want to listen to something that's kind of heavy, I'm not a huge rocker, stuff like that, like you guys are. But when I want to listen to something hardcore and something that's just going to get the bass in my car bumping so much that you can hear it 3 doors down, good band.
Yeah.
And
I have nothing against them.
And I just pop in Chase Rice because it's all the same kind of music.
You like a little Colt Ford?
Colt Ford's good. I do
Ford.
like Colt Ford. And I think it's not my kind of music, but they have their moments. And I love that stuff.
Yes.
Before we get back on Garth Brooks, I'm going to make my comment on Florida Georgia Line. And I'm going to ask you a question.
All these guys got to give Garth a fucking high five.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Like you
Huge.
cannot.
I
will say this about Florida Georgia Line is they came straight out and they did say Garth Brooks is a huge influence on them.
Good.
So I will say
Absolutely,
that about them.
absolutely. Well, every motherfucker that sings country right now should be saying
You have
that.
to send love to the master.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
You absolutely
Yes, you do.
And Ric Flair said it best: to be the man,
You gotta
beat the man. And I do not, like I said in the beginning of this show.
Okay, now I have 2 questions.
I don't think that there's anybody that is not better than the man.
I agree.
Than Garth Brooks.
Florida Georgia Line to me is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at a steakhouse.
I'd agree with that.
It's garbage.
Yeah, but if you only have $20 and you can't afford the steak, you got to
You can
get
still
that.
get the shitty.
Well, that was the point I was
At
going to
least
make.
the
It's like,
options
peanut
there.
butter and jelly sandwiches are tasty, but
At a
when
steakhouse?
but when I go to a steakhouse, that's not really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but if you only got hamburger money, buddy, dude, let me tell you
Then
what.
get a hamburger.
Having the option of having that hamburger on the
Or a
menu.
cheeseburger.
Exactly.
Especially when you're going on a date and she orders a steak and you're like,
Paisley was your first concert.
Yes.
What was your first concert? Just so everybody has a frame of reference.
Ever.
Ever.
Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Wow.
No shit.
Yeah. My mom took me.
Wow.
I was 6 years old up on my fucking mom's shoulders.
Wow. So you got to see Bonham before he died.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay,
Even
so
my dad's seen them too, and he says
Which
they're a
is
great
why
show.
which is why to this day, as much as Stairway to Heaven is what I call a gimmick
The
song.
most overplayed song in the history of music.
It is. But when you see it live and
we
the
just
shit
talk
that
about
they
Cruise?
do, the shit that they do, right? No, absolutely.
Good point.
The shit that they do to make that song. When you see a live concert, and anybody that has ever seen a live concert knows, there's certain songs that you wait for. There's certain songs that and listen, I'm 6 when this is going on, so like I wasn't exactly waiting for this song.
Your frame of reference is like that big.
But
at that
but the fact that song still sticks with me to this day.
It's a beautiful song.
The fact that I'm sitting up there and I'm just hearing this for the first time and like I'm low, like I'm like swaying with my mom, like this is fucking holy crap. To me, that's what you go to these concerts
Now,
for.
I'm going to ask you guys a question before I answer. Do you remember the old Norwich Rose Arts Festival back in the day where they took over the green and they would have like the Temptations and Charlie Daniels and the Spinners?
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider those concerts?
Yes, I do.
Fuck.
If it's here's how I consider it because I did.
I'm screwed now.
A couple of years ago, I did a 2013. It was I was with my girlfriend, the same girl that went with us to see Garth Brooks, and we did a challenge that year where every single month we made sure we went to a show.
Nice.
And I had to put some specifications in there because I'm a corny asshole like that, and I wanted to make sure that it was legit. And I said, we have to make sure that if we go, that it's a legitimate concert. It's not just some cover band, in a bar.
Right.
And
names are one thing.
Well, that's the thing is we made
if
sure
you're not going by venues, and that's what
that's what we made sure is we went by. Yeah, that's what we went is by name. Charlie Daniels Band is legitimate.
Because if you
we
think
went by
about
the
it,
name.
Think about Toads. Toads is not a very big venue.
No, it's
you know
not.
what I'm saying?
I was just there 2 months ago.
Right, exactly. So when you are there at Toads and say you do see a band like Aerosmith, and Aerosmith has still to this day played Toads.
Paul Stanley played Toads a couple years ago.
Exactly.
On his solo
See, that
tour.
to me, it doesn't matter if it's at Toads. It doesn't matter if it's in your backyard. If it's Aerosmith, if it's a legitimate name.
Exactly.
Okay, so then I have a dual answer. My first concert with big quotation marks in the air would have been Charlie Daniels in 79.
That's a name.
79.
That's a name. So that is your
first concert.
That is your first concert.
My first big venue with the whole lighting and rigmarole and fire and people smoking weed. Not me. I was 12, I think. No, I was 10. It was
Contact.
same building we just saw Garth Brooks in, Worcester Centrum, now the DCU Center.
Which you gotta love the Boston accent. Worcester, and it's spelled like Worcester.
Worcester.
Yep. Like
it was
Worcester.
Kiss was the headliner, last tour in makeup until the reunion. Quiet Riot was one of the openers, and the special guest half-hour spot went to Night Ranger. Yeah. I'm old.
I like Night Ranger.
I wear that shit like a badge, though. I saw Kiss before they took off the makeup,
by the way,
motherfucker.
Night Moves.
Oh, was that not
Garth Brooks?
Yep.
Yes.
Did he not blow your mind?
He didn't do. I don't know if did he do Night Moves with us. He did do Night Moves. Yes, he did.
Because
I can't remember.
Well,
he
he
did so
turned
much.
the page
What he did is he turned around. Yeah, he did turn a page. But he started grabbing all the shit from the crowd, right? And he goes, hold on a second. I just got to pull something out of my brain. Mm-hmm. And then he started going.
Yep.
He did do that.
And I'm like, dude, I know that song. That's not a Garth Brooks song. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is he doing here? And all of a sudden, he's like breaks out. And I was he holy shit, he's fucking doing Night Moves.
He started it with Turn the Page, and when he was done with it, the crowd went wild, and he
started Night Moves with us. He went Night Moves, and then he went to Turn the Page.
He went in reverse with us.
Yeah, he played it off really well, and after he did Turn the Page, everybody went wild, and he went, okay, so other people's music is not out of the question tonight.
Yep.
And then he went into Night Moves and Piano Man, which
American
I
Pie.
have never in my life heard somebody do a cover version of Piano Man without piano that
Wait,
good.
Here's a funny moment for you. Have you seen the outtakes on the DVD of The Hangover 2?
Yes.
And you see where they're on the boat and what is it? His name's Stu, the guy with no tooth, starts playing. Living here in Allentown, and he's fucking with Alan. In the outtakes, there's Zach Galifianakis saying, I've always wanted to learn Piano Man on guitar, and everybody bursts out laughing. He starts playing Piano Man, and I'm pissing myself laughing in the crowd. She goes, what are you laughing at? I'll tell you later.
It goes right back to it.
So you got, there's a certain, that is the Smith national anthem. Piano Man is my family's song. It's always been our family's song since my grandfather passed away. So, like, for him to break that out, first of all, was amazing to me. Like, I was like, damn, this is my jam. He's singing. He's totally singing Piano Man. But a lot of people don't realize him and fucking Billy are like this.
Really
Shameless was written by Billy Joel.
Right, exactly.
He is really close to a lot of them. A lot of people forget that he did a cover of Working for a Living with Huey Lewis.
Yes.
With the more modern, because he included NASCAR and other things in it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people forget that he did that remake. By the way, if you have not seen the video, look it up because it's on a racetrack with cars driving around.
Nice.
Them. So I think you would enjoy it. But I have his ultimate hits in my car. I was listening to it on the way here, getting pumped up for the.
We were listening to it the other day.
And that's one of my favorite songs on it. And it's just amazing. And when I went and saw Huey Lewis last year at Indian Ranch, because it's one of the perks of my job.
Well, perk us some shit, man.
But I got to see him last year, and he played that song last. And I'm sitting there singing to it and enjoying myself. And I was actually a little ashamed because I'm like, the only reason I first heard Working for a Living through Garth Brooks.
Really?
That was the first time I had ever heard the song.
Wow.
And then I learned that it was a remake of Huey Lewis's original version.
There's a story just like that. I want to say it's 93-ish. I'm out of the Army. I'm doing the DJ bit. I'm at a record store, which a friend of mine was running. And a little kid came in, probably no more than 10 years old, wanted to know if they had the new Garth Brooks album. And Scotty was like, there is no new Garth Brooks album. The kid says, no. I heard this song on the radio, Hard Luck Woman. Mm-hmm. So Scotty reaches behind him. It's on a display. He goes, no, it's part of the Kiss tribute album. The kid bought it sight unseen. This kid probably doesn't know fuck all who Gene Simmons or anybody is. But Garth Brooks, and that's the thing about Garth Brooks to me, and I was going to ask you guys this question. Garth Brooks transcends genres. Country, rap, rock. He's timeless, very good. He connects with so many people on so many different levels. We all have our musical taste. We all have this. We all have that. There's one moment in the show that your hair stands on the back of your neck for all of us. I'm sure they're all three different.
Thunder Rolls.
Why?
I love the song number one. And it's funny. Did he do the same thing with you guys where he was like, certain songs just take off?
Yes, he did. He goes, certain songs just take off, and this one took a while to get there.
He goes, and certain songs they don't, and you just you got to hold them longer than you got to do other songs.
Yep.
I remember when that song first came out, and I loved that fucking song.
It was such a controversial song when it was first released.
Absolutely.
It really was.
And don't forget what he was going through at the time, too. Because Garth is not a perfect angel, people. Garth did cheat, obviously. Yep. We all know about the history on this. So the fact that this song comes out when all this is in play, you know what I'm saying, is huge. Like The Undertaker. If you've ever been,
only Loki could equate The Undertaker and Garth Brooks.
Watch.
He's going to make it happen.
If you've ever been to a WWE live event and you've seen The Undertaker come out, I swear to God, they put the AC on. I swear.
You're not the first person to say that.
Because the hair stands up on the back of your
It's
neck.
just cold.
It's cold.
It's cold. And the smoke comes in. When he turned around and he was like, in certain songs you put on, that's when they cued the AC, right?
Yep.
So then he fucking kicks back and lights go off. Boom. 2 blue fucking streaks come down. Boom, bam, bam. You just hear those fucking first 3 notes, and I'm like, he's fucking hitting that shit, dude. Then the smoke starts coming in. You know what I'm saying? You can actually feel the coolness like you do like The Undertaker. Yep. I swear to you.
You win on that one.
They did that. And then you see the Titantron and the rain starts fucking coming
Was that
down,
not a
dude.
great effect?
That was awesome.
Well, that was phenomenal.
And it had like a 3D effect to it,
yes,
too.
Exactly.
I looked at him like, is something really like falling on the stage?
It did look like it was raining.
Insane.
So then you have the flashes
You have to
going
question
off,
yourself.
right? And everything's going on. I'm listening to the song, and it's the end. It's already went through, and they're still kind of going. And I'm like, third verse. He's gonna fucking do
Tell your third verse story, because I have one as well.
Third verse. And this guy is like 2 rows behind me, and he goes, there ain't no third verse in Thunder Rolls.
That's Friends in Low Places,
That's Friends in Low Places. I looked at him, and I said, really?
Pay attention.
Just watch. And sure enough, Garth did not fail me, and he started fucking going off on that, and I went like this.
Not me.
I didn't even look at the guy. I just folded my arms and looked up in the sky. Because I knew that motherfucker.
That was awesome.
That is it. And if you guys do not know the third verse of Friends in Low
Look it up.
Places.
It goes,
not Friends in
let me
the
put it
Thunder
this way.
Rolls.
It comes around, and it makes an already difficult song
More
more intense.
Amen.
If you thought it was critical and if you thought it was controversial beforehand, listen
you should
to
hear
the
the
third verse.
The first time I'd ever heard him play that live was obviously 1997, 98 when I went to that show. Same venue, by the way, DCU Center, formerly the Worcester Center.
What you told me, and that blew my mind. I think that's so badass.
So I went out immediately and bought the DVD.
So the two Garth Brooks concerts that you went to were both in the same
both in
place,
the same venue.
which is
Of
badass.
course, the seats were not the same.
Yeah.
I think the first time I was way up
back.
at a hockey game. They call it obstructed view. You're almost hanging.
Which, by the way, not to get off topic, but I'm so happy they're bringing a hockey team back there because I've been missing me some local hockey.
Nice.
Getting back to you.
Nice. You have local hockey.
In
There's
Fenway,
3
we call
teams
it.
Within
In Fenway, we
spitting
call it Penske pole.
Yeah. Or if you're sitting on the first base side and you happen to be by that green pole that says 14 this way, 15
Yes.
this way.
Yep.
I've sat behind that pole more than once.
Yes.
Fuck Fenway Park. But I'm going back.
That's
We'll
why
get
it's,
to that story.
That's why it's 75, 75, 75,
Four.
30.
$4 for this seat alone. Oh, Chris is going to buy the $4 seat. Way to go, asshole.
You were saying.
The first time I'd heard him play that live, I had not seen the live VHS of
Yes.
It was called This Is Garth Brooks.
Yep.
And I'm sure you guys have all seen it. And if you haven't, find it somewhere. It's out of print for many years, but I'm sure eBay has it for $7,000. Probably the same guy who's selling Shaman's Harvest, Last Call from Goose Creek.
Or the first episode of that Loki and Jabroni show.
Never heard of it.
That you can't find anywhere.
And there's a reason for that. So he does that third verse, and I did not know it. But now I know it. Now I buy the DVD or the VHS. I'm sorry. I listen to it over and over again. It's ingrained in my mind. When I hear the song in my car, I sing that verse.
And let's just say real quick, Friends in Low Places third verse is much like my Friends in Low Places third verse. You don't change the words a whole lot.
No, you just
there's
say,
only like
kiss
two,
my ass at the very end.
And
it
sweet
is
little lady, you
yeah.
can come into the story. The third verse of
Thunder
Rolls
Actually,
is a
it
completely
adds to the story.
Exactly.
It's the completion.
Yep, exactly.
So
you don't know how it ends. You don't know how it ends if you just listen
to
it.
Much like you, I'm at the show Sunday night. You were there Saturday night. You were there Sunday night.
Yep.
Jason. And they go into that that rocking solo part in the middle, and I elbowed Angela, and I said, he's going to do the third verse, and she knows the third verse.
Yep.
The guy to my left, much the same. Ain't no third verse to this song. I just gave him a look, and I went about my business. You know, they get through that biddly biddle rah 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 and the fiddles and the rock guitar. You might have thought you were at a fucking Anthrax show.
They were rocking that shit,
and
dude.
he comes out and he says, she runs back down the hallway, and I kind of turned my head and looked him dead in the eye and said, and through the bedroom door, and I wanted to grab his beer out of his hand. I stopped short of giving him the finger. Because, I mean, this guy was maybe this tall, 4.5 feet, but he was built like a fucking
and these
brick
are the same,
shithouse.
these are the same people that, you know, when Sail My Vessel comes on, they're like,
Oh, the river.
And I
love
will
that song.
drive my Mazda.
The river was that was an important song for me and my kid. When my grandfather died in 2006, which, by the way, I can't believe it's been 10 years already. For those, I wear a ring around my neck. For those of you can't see it, but I wear it for him. It was his ring. But that was an important song. But you had asked a question about which ones made
The moment.
Yeah, the moment that made the
I'll
hair
share mine
stand
when you're
up
done.
on the back of my neck. And it was a moment where me and my dad kind of locked eyes. And, you know, my dad and I are really close. We've been really close for quite a while. And him and I kind of locked eyes when he started playing this song. And we both went, this is the moment. And that made my hair stand up when he played the dance.
Nice.
When he started to play the dance. And I mean, that moment with my mom when he played that little bit from his song, Mom, was important to me. But when my dad and I looked at each other and when we heard that first few notes of that song, I knew right then and there that my dad's experience was complete.
Nice.
And that was important to me.
and
that was great.
Yeah.
As a KJ DJ, I do have to say this. The dance is a lot more complicated than y'all think it is.
Yeah.
You cannot sing the dance. Only Garth can sing the dance. You can hope.
You can't hear Jimmy. You can listen,
You
but
can
you can't
hope.
hear Jimmy.
You can hope to sing the dance.
You're
But you
completely
will
lost on
never-
that
You can
reference.
try. No, I'm really lost on
White
that
man
reference.
can't.
White
jump.
men can't
Oh,
jump.
white man can't jump. I've heard it before, but I have no idea where it's from.
I get you on that because that is not a song that comes from a special place.
And listen, I'm not trying to take anything away from my talent because I do believe I'm a mediocre singer. I think I can sing some very.
I'm one step below you.
I think I can sing some very good tunes.
I've been in competition, so I'm gonna.
I will
let that-
say
You
this:
digress.
the dance is a very, very hard song. It is.
Even doing, I've tried it karaoke. I've tried it on guitar. It is extremely difficult to tackle, and the amount of even.
Let me
It's
say
amazing.
that, you know, to make you feel my love is 20 times easier
Yes.
than the dance. And a lot of people are like, no, that song's harder. No, it really isn't. Like, you really have to listen to the dance, and you really got to listen because he is so low, but his voice is so powerful. Like, just being at that low key, he can just hit that shit. And I'll tell you what, unless you're swallowing that microphone, man,
That's really hard to do.
you are not
Nope.
getting that.
That was
You
a
are
great
not
moment for
getting
me. But I'm sure the Immortal, when she listens to this, will expect me to say "Calling Baton Rouge" was the moment, and we had a great time. That's our
that was
song.
fun too.
that. And let me tell you, Calling Baton Rouge is one of those.
Yep.
Yep.
No
That's
matter
a crowd
where you
pleaser
are, right?
beyond all.
No
belief.
matter
And
where you are.
and all of us here have experienced love, and we've also experienced loss of love. When he played Unanswered Prayers, all the hair on my neck is standing up. I reached over, I grabbed her like nobody's business, and what are you doing? Just go with it. And I'm swaying back and forth. I'm typical concert guy at this point. And as a veteran of like
Yeah, I was
740,000
concert guy
shows.
day one. I don't give a fuck if you don't like if I'm standing up or not, bitch. You want to see the concert?
You wanna talk
better
about a
step
standing
up.
up
We
moment?
were lucky enough to be back against a wall, so we could stand up the whole show. But we had a bunch of them. I'll get to that point in a minute. Let you.
How do you sit in a concert?
Here we go.
Can I just
I'll
ask
tell you
that?
how. There's an elderly couple in the row behind us who sat the entire time. And my theory was, if you want to pay all this money to see, in my opinion, fuck the CMA Awards, this is the Entertainer of the Year every year, Garth.
Yes.
Yes.
If you want to sit and pay $65, $85, $95 to watch television, your option, not mine. I have to let gas go. And Angela thinks we were just talking about this story the other night. I'm holding this back and I turn to look. Hopefully they're standing up. Nope, they're still sitting down. I've got friends and son of a bitch stand up. And here comes the next son of a bitch stand up. When we went up the stairs onto the concourse, I crop dusted 6 rows on the way up. And suddenly my legs felt better. My back felt better. My heart felt better. I didn't want to smoke out this nice old couple. Because I'm standing the entire show.
Dude, I'm sorry.
The worst thing I smelled the whole show was pot. Yes.
I'm sorry.
We didn't even get down on the floor.
We did smell pot.
What?
Every show. It never
Blasphemy.
fails. I
No.
always smell
Come on.
Blasphemy.
Once those house lights go,
It's
once the house lights
amazing.
go down,
I don't use it. I don't smoke it. Even if I did, I wouldn't admit it. But still.
you could run for president.
It's funny because.
Get ready to pack one right now.
There you go.
But it was hilarious because me and my ex, every show we went to in that 2003,
By the way, you
year,
don't smoke at a Garth Brooks concert. It's fucking blasphemy.
I don't know about that.
Every single show we went to in 2013 during that year,
Yep.
we found someone or something. The smell was always there.
I was
So
13
now it's a joke. And every concert we go to, somebody's doing it.
I was 13 years old at the New Haven Coliseum going to see Kiss in 1985 when they're in their B. Arthur glitter phase. And walking in, it was me and my other buddy, also 13 years old, and his uncle. So we're going to this show. And as we're walking up, this guy comes up to us, and he was obviously stoned off his guard. Hey, man, you guys got any rolling papers? No. I don't even know what, at 13, I don't know what rolling papers are. I didn't learn that till a year after. No, we don't. Oh, man, what about your dad, man? Does he have any rolling papers? I don't know. Ask him. What do I look like? The fucking rolling paper concierge? Oh, all right. So we see him walk up to the folks that are next to us. Hey, man, you got any rolling? Look, in my opinion, I went to a Tom Jones show in 1995. People were sparking at a Tom Jones show. So it's not mutually exclusive.
I will say Zach Brown was probably the biggest stoner show I've ever been to.
I think
I
Zach
could go
Brown
anywhere in Fenway Park that we went, and we walked all around that place because it was our first time being there. You smelt it everywhere.
There is no show that I've ever been to where I haven't detected weed. Even at Toad's Place, which is a small little club. I'm sure you been there?
I've been there, but not for any big acts.
The minute our friends,
Fenway Park, I'm known as the smoker.
There you go. The minute our friends from Shaman's Harvest hit the stage, you smelled the weed. I didn't smell it before they went on, but as soon as Shaman's hit the stage.
Toad's Place? Are you kidding me, dude? You cannot walk into Toad's Place and not fucking get a contact.
No, you're absolutely right.
You're fucking clam bake that whole fucking place, dude. You open up the exit doors like...
But I'm telling you, this is not, and Angela will back this up. When we walked in, we did the interview on the tour bus. We put the gear away. Mm-hmm. We walked in. We got our VIP credentials and whatnot. And it just smelled like typical bar room. As soon as the house lights go down and Shamans hit the stage, there came the weed. And I'm like, dude, they waited for the right band for this shit. Nathan would be proud.
I've been to venues as small as Indian Ranch and as big as Gillette Stadium, and I've never in my life seen a show with a major act. I mean, I've seen shows with small cover bands, but a name act, like we were talking to before, I've never been to a name act show without smelling somebody puffing the Magic Dragon. Yeah. So Garth Brooks was no different.
See, Garth, I don't know, man. Garth is already feel good to me, so it's like I don't need to sit there and blaze down.
Well, you know what? We were also in front of a group. Our whole section was a bunch of younger people. There was a group of. We were joking before the show. This is the point I was going to get to earlier. We were joking before the show that our entire row in front of us were all a bunch of teeny boppers and young kids. And I looked. I'm like, they had to have been my age, if not younger, probably younger.
By the way, we did have a fun game. Me and Janelle.
Okay.
We played Where's the Black Person?
The beer stand does not count.
I told her that.
Yeah.
I said employees do not count. I did. I found one.
This is actually
I found
really
one
sad.
in the crowd, and I'll tell you what, dude. He sat the whole time, just like your old people, right? He won those tickets. I'm telling you, he won those tickets. He gave one to his white buddy, and his white buddy was right next to him the whole time, dancing and fucking woo. You know what I'm saying? He was sitting that whole, and I will give him this. He was like, motherfucker, I won these concert tickets. I am watching this whole fucking concert.
Yep.
He did not fucking move from that spot, dude. But I did. It was like, where's Waldo? And it was like, I must have pissed off everybody around me because, like, when I because I did, and I got a picture of him too. Mm-hmm. He's on my phone.
Nice.
And I finally found. I said, I found him.
See, I had a different game. It was Where can I find the people that have texted me saying, where are your seats? As I walk through the crowd. Because I found Jason that way. I found a guy I played Little League Baseball with, and we've stayed friends all these years. He was, him and his, I scanned him and his wife.
Nobody went on Saturday.
Really?
Nobody.
I'm watching him and his wife.
You want to know, you think nobody went on Saturday. I have a lot of connections in the local country world and a lot of, devoted concert goers.
It was sold out Saturday.
I know nobody, not a soul that went on Friday. But it was already sold out.
Yeah.
That's what
and
I'm
I know nobody who went on Friday.
I'm catching my buddy
and
his wife taking stage selfies between acts before Garth came out, standing on the stage. Hey! So I sent him a text message. Stop taking stage selfies, asshole. I can see you. He gets up and he looks around. I throw him the finger and he comes over, shakes my hand. Friends of the show, the Krasners. Where are you? And I didn't think they were at the show. I'm like, I'm in Worcester. They're like, no shit. I
feel like nosebleed.
Where are your seats? No, they were on the floor. And where are you now? I said, I pissed, and now I'm coming down the ramp. I'm coming down the stairs, section 122. So I'm walking, and I see this little pink ball of happiness, all sorts up in the air. Niece Caitlin. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there you are. Threw her kisses, whatever, went to our seats. I ran into Jason, obviously.
Yep.
I ran into so many people that I knew, and Angela hates it when that happens. Like, I can't take you anywhere without you knowing somebody.
I was like that at the best seats ever in my life, Meatloaf. I had
on my bucket list. I got to see Meatloaf before he dies.
Front row, I'm here.
Yep.
Like, those are the best seats I've ever had in any concert.
Would you rather, not to interrupt you, would you rather be in a seat or in a pit?
Oh, I love the pit.
The pit?
I love the pit.
I know some people who would rather be in the second row of seats.
What kind
of
show?
Pit.
I went to.
Doesn't matter.
I went to.
I will throw this out there.
I went to Summer Sanitarium.
Yep.
And I was in the pit, and I would not trade that for the
last pit
world.
I was in was Anthrax 2011. Great show, but my glasses somehow in the moshing, whatever, flew off my head. It was like slow motion. I grabbed them out of the sky, put them back on, whatever. 3 days later, I had a heart attack.
Wow.
And it wasn't from the doctor says, what have you been done?
I feel like it could have said that without the glasses thing,
right?
But
no, it was
because I lost my glasses. I got
the
a heart
older
attack.
I get, because I used to at 30 at the time. I got to do the math. I was 39, and I'm in the pit at Anthrax, and these young kids are going off the side, taking a break and drinking water. I'm like, fag, what are you doing? If my old ass is in here, your 21-year-old ass should be pounding right next to me. We should be knocking people over.
I can't take it.
And then 3 days later, I had a heart attack.
I would say, but Brad Paisley's been the best seats I've ever had, because I was literally right up on the stage, like as close as I am to this table, bar, whatever you call it, right here.
Best seats?
You know?
Best seats ever? Anthrax at the station. We were right up against the stage. They were touring with Judas Priest at the time, and the tour had a night off, so they took a side gig just to make a little extra money. We'd heard about it 2 days before. We are right up against the stage. Here comes my Skynyrd story, which I do at every concert where I'm close enough. The band stops, and there's that lull, and the crowd quiets down. I will yell, like I do at your karaoke bit, play some Skynyrd, man! 3 concerts my entire life that's worked. One of them was Anthrax.
That's
and
fun.
as I'm right up on the stage, I said, play some Skynyrd. And there's Scotty, and like, blink, 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 ding, ding, ding. He just played the riff, and that was it. That was enough for me. That was as far as any size venue, I consider those the best seats. I was front row for the Motley Crue reunion in 2005, but there's that 8-foot divide between the barricade and the stage.
Well, with Meatloaf, I never even, like, once he started, I was out of my seat, and I was right up against
We were
that
so
stage.
close for that Anthrax show that when the show ended and the crew was starting to tear down the gear, my buddy at the time reached over and stole the set list off of the monitor, and he still has it to this day.
We've done that
a year
done
later.
That a few times at the Wolf Den at Mohegan.
A
So
year
you take
later,
all those
a year
seats.
later, he had the band sign the set list. He said, I stole this from the station.
Nice.
Like, oh, wow, cool.
Take all those seats. Garth still beat it?
From where I was?
Wherever your best seat.
I don't
care what-
Listen,
I don't
mine
care.
was Meatloaf.
Yeah,
and
it
I love
doesn't-
the fucking shit out of that
I don't care
concert.
where
and
I
I
sat.
love Meatloaf, and I love Meatloaf.
I could have sat on the lighting rig,
That was
and
the
Garth
thing
Brooks
is,
was a great
that was
show.
the great part about that show is no matter where you were, it did not matter. That show blew your freaking mind.
Yep.
And this is 3 people that
Mm-hmm.
have told you this, people. Like, this is not a joke. Like, I really do believe that 19 years that he took off, he missed it.
Oh, yeah.
He missed it so bad that you see it.
Yep.
That you feel it.
And he's been back on the scene for a few years.
Yeah.
And you
he
still see
felt like a kid in a fucking candy store, man. Just
the smile
his shit
never
down.
left his face.
No, it really didn't.
he was having fun
really
the whole
didn't.
time.
I could have. I'm not lying to you. They could have sat me on the hockey board, that thing in the center of the arena where I'm looking down and praying for my
Jumbotron or
life.
whatever.
I could have sat there, and it still would have been the same experience.
I absolutely did.
I didn't care that I was on the floor. Again, I could have sat in the concrete behind Jason and had a great, fantastic experience. Easily second best show, if not 1 and 1A that I've ever seen in my life.
I do. I will throw this up there as the best.
Since nobody understands sign language, who needs a beverage?
I'll take
I
one.
see a lot of empty. Talk amongst yourselves.
Cool. But like I was saying earlier, and I don't know if you guys had the same experience. I don't know how close you were. How close were you to the stage?
I was actually to the right. I wasn't on the floor, but I was damn close. Like we were on the left hand side. So I mean, I was like right when let's put it this way, when he did the the final encore, he came out and he was picking signs.
Yep.
The left walkway that he had that came out this way. He had one walkway that went this way, and he had one walkway that went out this way. That little kind of like area. Yep. We were like 5 rows back from that walkway. Nice. So like when he came out there, like I got a picture of him, and it's like his face is like crystal clear. Nice. You know, like
now we, like I was saying earlier, we had a group of young kids right in front of us. I call them young.
Which still blows my mind. Like,
I call them young, and even he was blown away through most of that show how young some of the audience were. He would consistently say, I don't know if some of you were even born when this song came out, but these kids were really, I call them kids, but they're probably like 3 years younger than me, which to me, anybody who's younger than me, I call kid, which is disrespectful, but everybody's done that to me my whole life, so what the hell? But they were so obnoxious before the show started. It was just so horrible the whole time before the show. They were so annoying.
We call them young.
I think literally those
who smoke pot at the Garth Brooks show.
Every single other word. Every single other word.
And I'm a
that
goddamn
came out.
stoner. All right? I'm a stoner, and I'm telling you it's
420
blasphemy.
Proud is telling you don't smoke weed at the Garth Brooks show.
I have to say that I say like a lot. You know, it's part of my generation. You know, we say like this. You know, it's kind of like it's like, but these people,
it's ingrained itself into the vernacular.
Every other word was like it was. You know, like this, like show is like just like awesome, like
shut the fuck up.
Me and my ex-girlfriend were laughing about it. We literally were contemplating taking our drinks and just throwing it at them for the whole time before the show went on.
I don't give a fuck. I would have slapped you $12 for a fucking 24 fucking can of Bud Light. Yeah.
If you're willing, Lloyd, I'm gonna throw that. If you're willing to throw your $12 beer at someone, God love you. You're a better man than I am. I'm nursing that sumbitch.
As soon as that show started, though, it was like brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
We were all right on the same page. Either they calmed down or we came up to their level. But all of a sudden, what we saw as obnoxious was right on par.
And I'm gonna take your point just a little further. Is this Garth Brooks show at every concert I've ever been to? There's always some asshole within a 10-foot radius of where you're standing, and that's everybody. So where you're sitting, if we were all at the same show, and where you're sitting, Jason, where I'm sitting, look 10 feet to your front, you're 3 and 9, and at your 6, you're going to find an asshole that's going to ruin the show for you. There was none of that.
Nobody. Not
the
one.
2 times I've seen Garth Brooks, no assholes. But I could go to any other act, whether it's rock and roll, heavy metal, pop, whatever, and you always find Johnny Asshole. There was none of that at the Garth Brooks show. That was like a big family reunion or seeing your best 18,000 friends, and you all... we could have held hands and sang Kumbaya.
And it would have been great.
Garth Brooks could have said, lift up this building with your bare hands, and everybody would have worked together to lift up the building with their bare hands. It was a family.
I'll build on that point by showing this. I don't know if he did this. I'm assuming he did this for all of them, but my dad actually was wondering if they did. Did he do the finger thing?
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah.
that was great because that was one of the best parts of the whole show. Was
stole
that
it.
for those
He stole that.
Yeah, of course he did.
Kiss, 1984. New Haven Coliseum.
I've seen that in many shows, but the way he did it
that was 32
was
years
amazing because for those who don't know what the finger thing is he would take his hand and he would point at one section of the audience and they'd go wild, and then he'd retract his finger and then he'd point at another one. And then in the middle of having everybody cheer, he would say, "Don't make me break my finger out," you know? And he had a ball with it.
Wait for me to give you the finger.
And it was amazing. And it was like smack dab in the middle of the show.
And you know what?
And it got everybody going. Whoever wasn't into the show at that point certainly was when he was done.
I made a statement to Angela while we were sitting there, and like I did here, it was in jest. I'm like, he stole that from Kiss. But the fact of the matter is, everybody steals something from everybody. It shows his influence. The lighting and the choreography and what is it? Just the presentation was very Queen.
Yeah.
His mannerisms talking to the crowd is very Kiss. His musicianship is very him. It just borrows from his influences, and it just makes for better. And if I think Loki and I talked about this some months ago, might have been some weeks ago. Alcohol clouds your memory. I remember Garth Brooks in a magazine. It says, list your influences, and it was George Strait, Kiss, Queen. That immediately made him the Godfather, in my opinion.
You know, I respect anybody. I grew up, basically Garth Brooks and Charlie Daniels were the only country singers I liked in the early 90s. In the early 90s.
Okay.
You know, when I was growing up, when I was like 5, 6, 7, before I was 10 years old. Because my parents would always play Geils, Kiss, Queen, Styx, who, in my opinion, don't kill me, but I like Styx better than Queen.
I'm going to. No, Styx is not part of that bill. I'm going to see a rock and roll.
Don't kill me because everybody always kills me.
House alive.
No,
that's not to take away from Queen because Queen is just as magnificent.
Let's draw a line. Let's draw a line in the stand with Styx. Everything before Mr. Roboto was fantastic, and Mr. Roboto is included, but everything after that was pap. It was like Bryan Adams.
Say that,
everything
Queen had more longevity than Styx.
Yep. Yeah, it's like Bryan Adams. Everything Bryan Adams did up till the Robin Hood song, and then after that, it became.
Jabroni will back me up. I've always been. I am all about Freddie Mercury. I think he is one of the greatest frontmen that this world has ever seen, and
not just that, a phenomenal singer. When I went to.
You can sit there and, dude, let's be honest. Jeff Tate is a phenomenal singer.
Without question.
He's a phenomenal.
He's no Freddie Mercury.
Exactly. It takes more than just a phenomenal singer to be an incredible frontman.
2 years ago, this past January, in 2014, I was privileged enough to be at the season premiere of That Metal Show, which has recently been canceled on VH1 Classic. Zakk Wylde is the guest. That's where I met Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
I
still love Zakk Wylde.
Over myself.
Zakk Wylde, in my opinion, is the greatest guitarist.
They have something at the end of the show called the Throwdown, where there's 3 minutes on the clock. Everybody gets to weigh in. The guests get to weigh in. And then the audience gets to weigh in. It was who's the better frontman / singer, Robert Plant or Freddie Mercury. Can I tell you, and I was cheering for Freddie Mercury, the pop that room had when they says, hey, how about Robert Plant? You got decent applause. And how about Freddie Mercury? Yeah. And there's only 300 of us in the crowd. You would have thought you were in 17,000 people. Freddie Mercury is that great of a singer and a frontman. He's pretty much what you should base everything off of.
He is one of the first people that, it's funny, I saw a meme the other day, and it said, to call someone gay is to insult this guy. And they had a picture of Freddie Mercury.
Wow.
Now, everybody knows Freddie Mercury is not known to hide his sexuality.
No.
As a matter of fact,
he flaunted it.
He flaunted it.
I think that was part of his whole image.
Right. He flaunted it to a part where his agent was like, dude, you need to knock this shit off. Like, you're losing people.
All you have to do is listen to those songs.
Right, exactly.
My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies. Fairy tales of yesterday, my soul is flying high. Come on. He's telling you without telling you.
Right.
Yep. You know what's fascinating about Freddie Mercury, and I love it. You probably, Jabroni probably sees this on Facebook. I don't know if you're on Facebook, Loki, but you see these things on Facebook that show songs like my favorite one is from Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj versus Freddie Mercury.
You a stupid hoe, and that's the whole song.
4 writers, 6 producers.
And it had like 6 producers, 7 writers, and then it shows the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody.
One writer,
one producer. Freddie Mercury.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I just put one up the other day.
Or that other one with
Beyonce versus Iron Maiden. One writer, one producer. This fantastic Iron Maiden epic. Right next to it is 4 writers, 4 producers. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who runs this bitch? Girls. Really? It took 4 people to write that? My 8-year-old could have written that song without the word bitch.
Or that one that goes, it's got that guy eating cereal. And he's like, I hate Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just a bunch of jobbled nonsense. And the guy was like, actually, it's about this guy that...
Yeah.
And it breaks down the entire song like to a T. And you're like, holy shit, dude. No,
Okay.
That's you can't bitch about that.
Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion, and I don't think this is too much of a stretch, is one of the greatest written songs, story songs in history.
It has more firepower than Don't Stop Believing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can slap that song on at any point.
Don't Stop Believing has more energy to it, but Bohemian Rhapsody has much more of a punch.
The tapestry that song weaves.
I think it has a lot more followers.
You're right.
Yes.
Is you can throw in Bohemian Rhapsody, and there's not a single person in that bar that's not singing. Yep. Especially when it comes to the I see the little window of a man. Everybody's all over that. Everybody's.
I don't get paid enough to sing here. What I'm saying is the tapestry that song weaves, it starts out as a ballad, then it turns into a rocker, then it turns into an operatic classic. Mm-hmm. It goes back to a ballad. You show me any bullshit Beyonce, Kanye West, any one of the people that I shit on every week, you're not going to find it. You know why? Because your artistry is limited.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
You do not challenge yourself like Freddie Mercury does.
I'm not saying, just like we've said a million times before, there are true artists out there. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, our Garth Brooks, our Freddie Mercurys, our Billy Idols, our freaking
Prince.
Our Princes. Mm-hmm. You know, even unfortunately, we just lost him recently. It was freaking David Bowie. They never picked up what I considered an apprentice. Mm-hmm. There was never somebody that followed him and said, I'm going to be the next you. And that's a fucking tragedy.
The closest you get is Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake.
And I will say Bruno Mars's music, well, maybe a lot of people don't realize maybe 50% of Bruno Mars's music has some context to it, and it's okay. You know,
he's a student of James Brown, Elvis, and Michael Jackson. If you're going to take influences from 3 people, you can't pick better than James Brown, Michael Jackson. What was the other one I said? I know he just said Elvis. He was in an Elvis contest when he was 6 years old and won the motherfucker against 30-year-old people.
He was fantastic. But in his more recent stuff, like Uptown Funk and stuff like that, pretty much once Lazy Song came out, which again was a good song,
forget, these are all songs that are written by Pharrell. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, all these songs, these newer songs that catch off right off the bat and then flutter down after a while, they're all written by Pharrell.
I'm going to catch shit for this from a lot of people, you included, Jason, but I like Uptown Funk.
I do like Uptown Funk.
There's a certain depth because you go from Grenade to like the Lazy Song to all this, and then Uptown Funk. When I heard that, I'm like, that's Bruno Mars? That's so out of his realm, but that's an expansion. That's like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, but
you go
Uptown,
from Fat Bottom Girls to Bohemian Rhapsody. You're blowing it up.
I do like Uptown Funk, but I just... From an artistic standpoint, I just feel like it's a downgrade for Bruno Mars. That doesn't mean it could a bad song by any means, but I feel like
such a vocalist.
Yeah, I feel like Bruno Mars can do better than Uptown Funk, which is why I kind of look at it. I'm like, Uptown Funk is a fun song. I love to play it. I love to hear it.
Even the king,
but for him, it's a little.
Even
low.
Elvis, even Garth Brooks. I mean, Kiss is the king of this particular genre. Everybody has a gimmick song.
Oh yeah.
For every rock and roll all night.
It's not Folsom Prison. That's Johnny Cash.
Friends in Low Places.
Yes. So for every rock and roll all night, for every jailhouse rock, everybody has that gimmick song. And I think if we're going to go back to Queen quickly, that was Another One Bites the Dust.
No, Bohemian
to me, their gimmick song was Another One Bites the Dust. It was
you know what? And I could argue We Are the Champions are a gimmick song.
I would still.
Yes.
I could argue that.
Yeah, but that falls in with the.
I think Bohemian Rhapsody is a different animal.
Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah,
because that does go hand in hand. You can't do Another One Bites the Dust without We Are the Champions.
Yep. Another One Bites the Dust always kind of leads into that song.
It always does.
But I can guarantee. I never saw Queen. I'm really sad that I never got to see them in concert.
Same here.
But
I don't think any of us.
Yeah, I don't know. When did Freddie Mercury die? Because they didn't really.
80s.
November 24th, 1991 of AIDS. He died the same day as Eric Carr of Kiss.
Yeah, but they stopped touring.
They stopped touring for a while.
2 years before that, they went on that last run
And you got to think.
What was the album? It had "I Want It All." It had "Show Must Go On."
I love that fucking song. "Show Must Go On."
Sang that for you for your birthday,
dude. He really quick. You guys realize like he was so sick when he fucking was writing that song.
That was like Bowie's last album.
Right.
That album, and I'm gonna get the name of it. It was his goodbye. Innuendo, I think the name.
It was, and the like. Look at this shit, man.
Yep.
This is what it does to
Goosebumps right there. I'm going to find what the name of that album was.
That became David Bowie's first number one album.
I read this, and I'll never forget this.
Fantastic.
He was like coughing up blood. He's sick as shit. And they're like, all right, we only have, I think it was like an hour worth of studio time, and we got 2 songs to go. One of them was "Show Must Go On," and the other one was one of the other ones from that.
Was it "I Want It All"? It was Innuendo. I just got it right here.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't "I Want It All." It was "Show Must Go On" and something else. And they did the other one after the bat, and they were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, sweetheart, just get me a vodka and let's call it a day, all right? He did both of those songs in one cut. 15 fucking minutes. They told him he had an hour. He did it in 15 fucking minutes.
But
dude.
You got jackasses like Beyonce who need 4 days to record "Who Run the World, Girls."
And you got to understand, this motherfucker is dying of AIDS at this point. He is sick as shit. I mean, he is puking up blood. And he's like, darling, just give me a fucking shot of vodka and let's get this shit done.
Who would you say... Now, you look at people like Garth Brooks. You look at people like Freddie Mercury. Let's take it by genre. I don't know how into country music you guys are. I love it. If you had to pick a successor
I like
to
country
Garth
music
Brooks,
so much, new country pisses me off.
I agree. If you had to pick somebody in today's genre, whether that be,
I'm going to take this first.
Who in today's country music, and I'm talking like from 2000 on, and that's even before, even if they made their debut before 2000, from 2000 to today, people who are still relevant, who today would you say is the new Garth Brooks, the man who in years from now we're going to be looking at him
he's
as
given
an
the
icon.
right, if he's given the right promotion and he's given the right backing, he writes incredible songs. He's got, I think, 3 CDs out there. I own all of them. None of them suck. It's not Puke Brian. Let's get that out of the way right now. If Rodney Atkins get the push he deserves and he gets the backing he deserves, that's your next.
I called Rodney Atkins the new Garth Brooks when he came out with 4 straight #1 singles.
Can't do it. I got to give it to my boy Blake Shelton.
I disagree.
Blake Shelton's been around for 20 years.
I disagree. He was good, but I think when he started The Voice, he sold out.
I don't know about
sold
that.
out.
Yeah.
Of course he fucking
But he's
sold out.
never going to make another song like Austin ever again.
Because the reason is when you go on to a show like that, think about who he's up with, right? Yep. You got CeeLo Green and Pharrell. Well, I'm going to put those both in the same category because they are. They're both in the same category, right? Then you have Gwen Stefani. And then, wait a minute. And then we throw it off with ex-Tina there.
Fuck her.
Same fucking genre. And then you got douchebag Adam fucking Levine.
Fuck him too.
Over on the other side, right?
See, I'm a big Adam Levine fan.
Fuck that puto.
No talent hack, dude.
I'm going to the soundboard.
Just because you had a tiger tattoo, just because you could show off your little fucking 6-pack that you don't eat Twinkies for, thank God that you ain't got a sweet tooth, all right, homeboy?
Go do your proactive
because that's the
commercials
only
and get out of
talent
my
you
face.
have is the fact that you could keep a 6-pack. You ain't got no musical talent. All you do is squeeze your fucking genitalia.
To piss you guys
Come on.
off sometime.
Oh, you did. I fucking can't stand Adam Levine. Regardless.
Fuck Adam Levine.
This is the people that you go up against all the time, right? Your country. That's what you are.
Because I don't think Christina Aguilera could honestly weigh in on a country voice.
Have you ever watched
The
Voice?
That.
Have you ever watched The Voice?
I've watched a few seasons.
Never once in my life.
Every single person that sings country is singing to fucking Blake
Shelton.
And that's not fair. That is not fucking fair to him because that is the first thing they say. I can't believe Blake didn't turn around and fucking, I have the voice.
That's a lot of the reasons why he doesn't turn around too, because he's like, you know what? I've got,
It's cliche.
that.
Right.
You know?
You got to be the best. This is why I got to give it to Blake is yes, he has been in the business as long as he has. Yes, he will never write a song like Austin again.
He'll never be the next Garth Brooks.
However, Right. But when you say the next Garth Brooks, you're not just talking about the singer. You're talking about the talent. You're talking about what he brings to the table. You're talking about the knowledge of country music that he inspires other country music people to do. And this is what Blake Shelton can do.
I saw Rodney Atkins in a 1,000-seat venue in Ocala, Florida when I lived down there on a $10 ticket. And believe me, if they'd have charged me $50 for that ticket, I'd have gone back and paid more.
Right.
He is the next one.
I saw him open for Luke Bryan in North Carolina, and he put on a better show than Luke did.
Everybody puts on a better show than Luke Bryan.
We're not just talking.
It's not just performing.
You got to understand
it's
that
passion,
Garth is not just
right.
Garth is not just
Rodney
a performer.
I'm talking relevance too, as well. Like who's going to be remembered, but who's going to be able to live up to that relevance. Blake lost it for me when he released, because I was all on the Blake train. I've seen him twice in concert. I saw him at Mohegan Sun before. I saw him at Indian Ranch before he became part of The Voice, and he put on one crazy show. And I saw him open for Brad Paisley just before he got on The Voice. Again, a crazy act, amazing.
And those two together, they need to do more duets.
Oh yeah,
because when they actually came
out and did "Don't Drink the Water" on stage.
Don't drink the water.
Best part of the whole show.
That is one of the greatest fucking songs.
When
New Country.
When he released Over as a single off of that album, I can't remember what album it was, but when he released the song Over, I knew he had sold out. It is the worst song on that album, possibly the worst song he's ever recorded. Where he says, tell me what I got to do to win you over." I'm like, that is the worst song on the CD.
Yeah, but
the worst song you've ever recorded,
and
it went number one. I'm like, okay, so now not only is he releasing just some marketing fodder, he's also people are drinking the Kool-Aid.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Miranda Lambert follow up with something after that to his Over song? It was a shot back and forth to each other.
Over was
West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah, Over was about trying to win somebody over.
Right.
Over You was a song that he had written with Miranda Lambert, which was about loss, because it was about him losing his brother. And I would have rather he released that song. That song, in my opinion, exemplifies, like you said, the greatness that Blake Shelton can have, because that is the kind of heart and sincerity.
And he can have that, but again,
I want to hear more of that from Blake.
Going back,
and that's my point. I think it's not over for him. I think what he's doing right now is exactly that.
I'll follow
He's got the longevity. He has the passion, and what he makes other country singers do is what I think he has the longevity.
I'm going to explain why I picked Rodney Atkins is because I'm not a huge country fan. I'm a rock and roll guy. But what was the first single? If You're Going Through Hell.
If You're Going Through Hell.
Grabs me.
Well, he had a single
huge
before that called
fan
Honesty, which was a one-hit wonder until he came out with that song.
Garth got me into country.
Yep.
Let's not make a mistake about this. Like, Garth was the reason why I got into country. What I am is I consider myself a country connoisseur at this point, where when people come up to me and they're like, well, country this, country that. Listen, I understand you have your Trace Atkins, and I understand that you have all your Tim McGraws and shit before that, and even what's the other one? Don't take the girl is Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw, yeah. Kenny Chesney,
Travis Tritt.
Travis Tritt. That's the one I was thinking.
That's my boy.
You know what I'm saying? These singers beforehand, I was picking up on them after I listened to Garth.
Right.
Yep.
So when I think that's also what I think about a Garth Brooks. Who's that guy that makes you want to listen to country music?
Blake Shelton fits the bill.
Exactly.
To me, Garth Brooks makes me want to, but if you want on that point, Rodney Atkins is the guy that makes me want to continue. And he can take it. If Garth Brooks said tomorrow, "I'm done," all my fans should go this way.
We're at that closing point.
All right.
Before we even get there, if y'all, I said, listen, if y'all get a chance to see this concert, let me tell you, my boy is not done for another 20 years.
Look,
no, he's not done for another 20 years. He's going to be Ric Flair. He is not done.
Exactly. There are shows I wish I would have saw, and I hedged,
Don't
and I
fucking
said
miss
no.
This show. Don't miss this fucking show.
They retire, or they die, or any number of bullshit things happen. I'm glad I got the second experience. Thank you much to the Mortal Beloved for buying the tickets. Fantastic time. Your lady won the tickets.
Yes, I was.
So
very
fantastic
happy
time on her part.
Happy with
and
that.
if I'm not mistaken, you bought those tickets for the.
I bought them. I bought them for my dad. I gave him 4 tickets, and I said, you get to decide who goes with you. But remember who bought the tickets. So basically, you have 2 tickets to play with.
Right, exactly.
Oh, man.
And you're going to bring your wife, so you have 1 ticket to play with.
And he still brought your ex-girlfriend.
Well, he was originally going to bring my brother. But,
that would have been great.
But my, me and my ex-girlfriend were still really, really close friends. So she's like a daughter to them,
Understood.
So if my brother couldn't go, she was literally the next best option. So I'm glad that we all got to experience it because it was a bonding experience for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Because my breakup with her was not that long ago. It was like maybe 6 months ago.
I was going to say, it's been within the last year.
Nice, you got out of Christmas.
Maybe. maybe 6 months ago.
They raised their glass to Loki. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was just. I think it was September of last year.
Come on, bro code.
And we're still really close, and that was a big thing for us too because we still really, really try to be good friends. So we got to bond over that. My dad got to experience something he'd never gotten to experience before, and of course, the highlight of the show for me was being able to spend even just hearing the first verse and chorus of "Mom" and being able to spend that moment with my mom. There was something for every possible experience you could think of in that show. It was amazing.
Going on that point, before we run out of too much time, we can go over. I don't give a shit. We run this shit. If I could have brought our kids...
We got to keep to a certain protocol.
I know. We're not doing 3 hours of Gary Wolf. Love you, Gary. If I could have brought my kids, my kid and Angela's kid, to that show, they would have enjoyed it. There's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Nobody felt out of place.
No.
It was just fantastic. My biggest memory walking away from that was the smile never left Angela's face, just as it never left Garth Brooks' face.
Like I posted on Facebook, my favorite is we're talking 12 hours later, and the music was right here.
Still in your head.
And not only that, it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like I was there in my head.
It's
you know what I'm
almost
saying?
a week later, and it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We're driving to go again, and again, you had a rough night, so you weren't there that night. We're driving to Pistol Pete's in Norwich, Connecticut to see you guys, and we end up just seeing Janelle. And we're talking about the show, and as we're bringing up specific points, it's like there's this DVR thing in my head, and it brings me back to that song, and I can see it in so vivid.
Yeah, exactly.
It was amazing, fantastic show. Again, I'm moving it up the ladder. It's going to be 1A and 1B, Kiss and Garth Brooks.
Yep.
The best show.
I'll go as far to say it is the best show I've ever been to. Zach Brown Band, very, very close second, but not quite there.
My close second is Meatloaf.
So for your something to talk about this week, we haven't done this in a while. If you're listening and you get to this point and you haven't fallen asleep on us yet, want you guys to chime in on the page. What was the best concert you ever saw? And tell us why. I have a quick announcement before Top 10. The Dunkin' Donuts gift card promotion has closed.
And Blair
Tugman is the winner. However, Rich Hayden from Ohio gave it a great shot. He came in.
You ain't first, you're last.
He came in 5 people behind.
You ain't first, you're last.
If you ain't first, you're last. So Blair, Ricky Bobby Tugman, he'll be down here in the studio with us sometime soon. 2 fights coming up. One of them for a championship belt. Blair, you are the winner.
On the Blair Tugman Championship, and he's going to be rocking some Loki Jabroni.
We are making him a 1 shirt only. No one else will have this except Blair Tugman. Our logo on the. You want to make 3? I'll take one. Absolutely. Our logo on the front.
We're going to wear it at the fight.
His sponsors at the. I like that idea. That's fantastic. Before we go into all the rigmarole that we close out with.
Hold on. Yeah. Before we do that, you've had a chance to be, on the phone.
Yep.
Now you've had a chance to be live with us.
Yep.
Oh, you blew it! You blew it the whole time.
It's my aunt, for fuck's sake. She never calls me.
Dude, last 5 episodes, your phone has gone off. You're at a 6-pack now, buddy.
If you see me out in public, I owe you a beer.
Dude, you owe him a pitcher. This is you.
I might as well just fill the back of the truck with 30 racks and hand them out.
You got to.
Oh, my Lord.
Like I said before, he owes everybody, a 12-pack.
And it's not fair to get your cell phone and call me because that's bullshit.
Yeah, right.
You've been on the phone with us. You've been live.
Yep.
How do you like the live?
It's pretty cool. Being here live is pretty interesting. It's, for those of you, I mean, people don't get to see behind the scenes. I've done radio for a few years, and I've done WCTY. I've done WYNY 1350 AM in Putnam, and I've done a lot of different radio stations. So people don't realize we're just kind of bullshit here behind the scenes. You know,
Two guys drunk at a bar, now three guys.
It's a great time. You know, it's awesome. I'm on my third beer. Yep. And it's pretty cool.
You're falling off.
Yeah, right? No, it's pretty cool. It's actually, it's a lot more fun than being on the phone, because when I was on the phone with you, I think I was on the highway the whole time.
Yeah.
Really?
So this is a lot more enjoyable.
See, at least Chad sat in his living room.
I was on my way between meetings. So.
All right.
So, with...
I want to say before we go, thank you again, Jason.
Yeah, very welcome.
Actually, for making the trip, absolutely.
If it's not anywhere for me to say so, but actually it is. You're welcome anytime, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about sports?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about
Valhalla
NASCAR?
Complex is always open. We're going to be extending, actually. This other room is going to be the actual permanent studio.
Nice.
So right now, it's kind of funny because when we did decide to do this was one of the things that we wanted to do, is two guys at a bar, just bullshit.
And now here
And
we
it's
are.
literally two guys at a bar.
And I do have a bar now, and thanks to this alto, I can set it up for a large room, so it really cuts out the echo a lot. You know,
Which we're going to do on April 30th, and we'll give you more details as it goes along. The
Absolutely.
fundraiser in Groton, Connecticut.
So
if you can get out,
hit
please check
that
us out.
jam.
Absolutely.
Still haven't got sued for this one.
We will.
You know, because I'll be like, motherfuckers, you did a Geico commercial, all right?
It's 15 seconds long.
We know it is.
So as we go through all this Garth Brooks happiness and country happiness, my top 10 list this week.
Top 10 Garth Brooks songs?
No.
Oh, damn, you shocked me. I really
went
did.
the other way.
I really did think. All right, so since you didn't go that way, number one Garth Brooks song.
Standing Outside the Fire.
Okay.
1A would be Calling Baton Rouge.
Oh, boy, that would be really hard. I have to agree with you. Standing Outside the Fire, Calling Baton Rouge would be my second.
I'm sorry I missed that song on Sunday, February 28th.
I would
Standing Outside the Fire,
I would
Thunder
put
Rolls.
the dance at number 3, Thunder Rolls at number 4.
Unanswered Prayers number 2.
Unanswered Prayers
Oh, wait,
number
I got to
3.
throw an honorable mention.
Unanswered Prayers number 3.
Quick story before I go into top 10. We've had Chad Hatfield on the same episode as Jason when we did the Jeff Gordon
Yes.
tribute.
Yep.
Now, Chad Hatfield was
24 forever.
really the guy that got me in the country. And he lived in a town called Denver, Indiana. So we're driving across country from Norwich to go see his family in Denver, Indiana. And Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old comes on the radio.
Good song, though.
And
Really good song.
Chad and I were, we still, when we see each other, we'll play together and we'll sing together. But we're sitting in his car, and that song comes on the radio, and we're singing. It's like, this old highway is getting logged out. And he hits me in the elbow, and he says, got to ride in Denver tomorrow night. And he smiles. I'm like, that just made this our song. If you can have a bro song, that's my bro song with Chad. So,
really quickly, what's one song that people might be surprised to know that you like by Garth? Like one out there song by Garth you like? Mine has to be The Change. Not the most popular song,
Red
but
Strokes,
I love that song.
The Red Strokes.
Nice. Good choice.
Cowboy.
Love that. Nice.
Cowboy
nice,
song.
nice. No, I was telling Angela this. I said, if there's one song that I don't think he'll ever break out, if he played it live, I'd probably just drop my drawers and jerk off all over the road in front of me. It's the Red Strokes.
That's an awesome song.
Thank you
I
for saying
totally
that.
forgot about that song, actually.
I never
Great
do.
song.
So this week, because we're having all this Garth Brooks country madness, and I feel a little bit out of place, this is the top 10 ways to tell if you're using a redneck's computer. The honorable mention. The swivel chair has been replaced by a used racing seat.
You might be redneck.
Bing, dang, ding, y'all, man.
What are you, Boomhauer now?
God.
No, swimming on, man.
right up my alley.
Number 10, the monitor is up on blocks.
It's not my fault, man. Come on.
Number 9, the printer has a built-in spit cup.
Come on, man. 2.
Number 8, the 6 front keys are all rotted out.
Just like my teeth.
Number 7, the USB port has a rebel flag sticking out of it. Number 6, the numeric keypad only goes up to 5. Number 5, your password is Waltrip.
Beep, 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 beep.
Number 4, there's a gun rack mounted to your tower. Number 3, the computer table is an old Budweiser bar mirror.
I like those.
Why?
I like those.
Number 2, 3 words, camouflage screensaver.
Where's my mouse?
Oh, funny you should say that. The number one way to find out if you're using a Redneck's computer, the mouse is called the critter.
Critters.
Where's my critter?
Where's that critter? Where's that critter?
Wow. That's the best response I've gotten so far. Can you guys shut up now, please? Please.
Kind of sounds like
You
a Garth
want
Brooks
the
show.
extended version.
I guess so.
It kind of sounds like that Garth Brooks show right there.
Nice. Yes, it does. So before we close, I got a little something to play for you. It's not the closing song. Angela sent this to me this morning. I thought it's a barbershop quartet, and I want you guys to hear this. So thank you, Angela. Here it comes. It's a barbershop.
I take a look at my enormous penis, and my troubles start melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis, and the happy times are coming to stay.
Can we get sued for this?
I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants.
The only problem is, like,
a sunshiny day.
I'm still waiting for the revenue for my enormous penis. Like, yeah, great. You wake up with a big dick every day, but does it give you fucking money? No. Does it make you fucking coffee? No. Does it fucking make you breakfast? No. It just kind of dangles there. And then when you gotta go fucking pee and it's gotta fucking be jacked up to the fucking sky, it's like, come on, dude.
We talked about the struggles of a DJ earlier. Well, the bar that I frequent, me and my buddy who I filled in for last week, every time, that is probably one of the most popular karaoke songs we do. We have a guy who sings that every single Saturday night.
What's that? My Ding-a-ling? Or?
No, take a look at my enormous penis. We have the actual karaoke version of that song.
No, shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that was the first time I ever heard it was when he did the karaoke. I thought it was being funny. And then just changing up the words to his song, he's like, no, this is the words. I'm like, that's the words.
This morning was the first time I'd ever heard that song.
Yeah, before that, it was my ding-a-ling. That was
Ding-a-lings. Ding-a-lings. Now, my closing thing is the closing song by Red Peters. Yep. That's the jam. That's the jam.
You played that.
There. I love that song, man. I really do.
I usually.
All right, guys. Speaking of closing time, unfortunately, it is closing time, and
one last time, we're going to mention Sublime Ink, 577 Route 12, Groton, Connecticut, 860-445-4200.
You know what you didn't do?
What did I didn't do?
You didn't do your intro. I just noticed that.
My intro?
Yeah, the best 40 years.
Oh, fuck. See, we're going all the way to the end. Guys, if you've made it this far, we want to thank you for downloading this week's episode, and we especially thank you if you've subscribed to the show. Each and every time, if you subscribe to the show, each and every episode is automatically downloaded to whatever device you listen to us on. No fuss, no muss, no hassles, no horse shit. Also, we need you to go to iTunes and leave that review. Sully the Skully is waiting for a home. Jason, you get to sign that, by the way, as an in-studio guest. Each and every review helps us move up the chart, and it helps us bring you more guests and more quality entertainment to come in and stand outside your eardrums every single week. And until the website is built, go like the Facebook page. It's where you get the latest updates, video blogs, drunken debauchery, Superman versus Batman debate, anything you want.
I'll get in on that shit.
Yes, you should, because there's lots of gimmicks you can win.
It's all over the place.
Now, going back to Sublime
Sorry,
Ink.
I had to cut you. I
Thank
just
you.
realized that, right? I was like, you know what? I don't think I heard that. And I'm going to go back to the beginning of the show and double check that, but I'm pretty damn sure I did not.
No, he did not do it.
No, I did not.
See? Thank you. Thank you.
As we have.
And this is only the second time I've been on the show. So I don't really know what the continuation of the show is.
It's usually right at the beginning before we get into our gripes for the week.
Yes.
Wow. Good call by you. Anyway, got some scratch in your pocket? You want some ink? Go see Dave Kovalik, Dana Batts, Justin Furr, or
Dave the Nightmare Kruger.
That's fantastic. You can find them all at Sublime Ink Tattoos, 577 Route 12, Groton, Connecticut, 860-445-4200. Tell them you heard it here, and maybe you get yourself a little discount. God only knows.
Make sure you ask for Dave Kruger. Just because I'm going to sell his ass out. No.
You go down there, you ask for Dave
because you got to turn around and be like, dude, I was getting nobody. Now all of a sudden everybody come up and call me like the Nightmare and shit. Mom, come on.
Are you the Nightmare? I want a tattoo.
Just like that Dave Kruger.
He went all UFC. What's his name? Bruce Buffer on that. The Nightmare Crew.
He's never gonna.
Dave Kruger owes you
He's
so
never
much
gonna
credit.
outlive his fucking brother Michael. Sorry, Bruce is just a wannabe Buffer.
Wait a minute. See, I like Bruce Buffer better because he throws a little more bass and baritone. And he's got the growl like
if it was,
Nightmare. Whereas Bruce Buffer
was,
is more smooth. Bruce Buffer is smooth.
Yeah, but if Michael never started it, there would be no Bruce.
I don't doubt it.
Nobody else.
But you should know who you're announcing. And the day I heard Michael Buffer announce Brett the Hitman Clark was the day I lost all respect.
I'll give you that one.
Remember that?
All right, guys, listen. We want to thank you guys for listening every single Saturday.
Thank you to Jason for coming in.
Thank you for Jason for coming down this far. We hope you guys enjoyed having him on the show. Give us some feedback to that, by the way. If you guys really liked talking about Garth, throw that feedback on that Facebook page. Make sure you like that Facebook page. Just like my brother said, make sure you review us on iTunes, because as soon as you review us, you get a chance to win that Sully the Skully, and you guys do not want to miss out on that.
And you, with the fantastic Bruins
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt.
I have kicked Eddie Jacobs in the balls because he's been trying to drink this fucking vodka.
Oh, man,
Every time he comes down here, he's trying to replace it with water. People, review, all right? I need at least
Get the stuff
50
in the bottle.
reviews before this gets out there. 50, and we're up to what? 10?
12.
12. Come on. 50 reviews. Maybe I'll drop it down to 40. Maybe. But come on, guys. Let's go. I know y'all have fucking iPhones. It's not hard. Get on that shit. Review us. Get a chance to win it.
And one last thing. You, pimp us. I know you did the last time. I'm hoping to see some fresh new listeners come from your appearance here this week.
Yes, I shall.
Just the vodka alone.
I will completely blow up my Facebook page.
Excellent.
Fucking vodka alone. Vodka alone.
I know. Free shit.
Vodka.
Free shit. We still have the MLB
You get a
jersey.
vodka with a bunch of... I don't know who else has signed that. A bunch of people have
You're
signed
about
that
to.
shit.
You're about
I'm
to.
about to sign it. My signature alone is worth it. I figured I'd flaunt my ego just a little bit.
As if a nationally recording act isn't enough.
Yeah,
You
right?
got Jason Bleau right
So there's
there.
just that. So,
Guys, the
it's worth it.
MLB jersey's still out there. 100 words or less, what this show means to you. Get yourself in there.
I know. I got to read some shit, man.
Guaranteed winners. Send a private message to the Facebook page. Get yourself a free MLB jersey. Team of your choice. Players based on availability, but get it done.
Hit me with the horn, jabroni.
You got it.
We call them cool. Those hearts that have no scars to show.
We would definitely get sued for this.
Where's my pyro?
25 seconds, dude. 25. Make sure you cut it on 25 seconds.
Let me make sure.
Because Garth will sue the shit out of us.
All right. Here we go.
We call them fools.
I'm not playing around, dude.
We just cut it. We're not getting sued this week.
Guys, make sure you like us. We love you all very much. Have a safe and happy weekend.
have a good one.
We'll see you next week, guys.